welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
It is Friday. This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. That makes sense. You needed your phone. Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here. We need that to survey the nasty chat as well as the Parish Droolers inbox. 780-218-9999. Joining us today, friend for a long time, formerly from the old place, but he's all over the place now. We got Jonny Jazzno with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
There are so many things you are connected to these days. So, how do you want to define the affiliation of Jonny Jazzno? Who are you with?
Mark Curtis. Go.
Mark Curtis, whoa! Just had double knee surgery. Hope he's doing well.
Great baseball player. Better golfer.
Very good golfer.
Yeah. This guy right here is a great golfer.
Have him on your team if you're ever going to do a scramble this year. Call him. But yeah, he just had double knee surgery on Wednesday.
Damn.
And so knee replacement. So I'm going to go visit him tomorrow.
Tell him I said hello.
Absolutely.
Maybe
I was
he's
not
watching.
expecting Mark Curtis this morning. That's great.
Well,
That's
last
awesome.
summer I played in the same men's league with him.
Oh yeah.
And he is excellent. Like the guy, he was a Blue Jays prospect, I believe.
Yeah.
And pitcher, and he's a giant human being. Hits the ball so well. Excellent golfer. And he's like, you gotta meet my buddy Jonny. I'm like, I know Jonny. This was last summer.
Were you guys at Lewis or at
Lewis?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He asked me a few times to play that men's night too. I never made it out. Was it good?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm a sub. I hope they're gonna let me back in this year.
Awesome.
I didn't burn any bridges. I don't think.
Best round last year.
82, 81.
That's good.
I can't break 80. I need to do it, Jonny.
I only did it twice. Ever.
I'll get there.
He's a really good golfer, Jonny.
Maybe we go this summer. Okay. We get Mark, but his knees are good.
Now, that's not the affiliation Johnny's from.
I know. I threw you a curveball.
Sevens Radio Network, which is with Tailgate Radio, which is connected with TuneIn, which is with Garth Brooks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Who's that?
Yeah, Garth Brooks. He's got the Garth hat on right now.
Got to represent the brand.
Tailgate Radio, Sevens Radio Network.
Yeah.
That is Garth Brooks Radio, which is connected with TuneIn Radio, which we are part of on Edmonton Sports Talk. We are live on TuneIn for many people listening us there. So
I'll give you the quick backstory.
I love a backstory of the guy from, living in Edmonton, who's now working with Garth Brooks. Because you're also with, just quickly, Spirit of Edmonton. Yeah. You've been associated with them. And I remember being at the tailgate this year, and Haraxi was there. And he's like, you got to talk to Jazzno. He's with Garth Brooks and TuneIn. And I hadn't talked with you in a few months. It's like, excuse me? He's with Garth Brooks? How?
Okay, so... Crazy, 20 years of radio. That's where we met.
Yep, you were with Virgin Radio.
Yeah, I was at Virgin Radio.
And 1260.
You're at 1260. And working there, and, the Big Blue Machine, it's just not the best place all the time. It's good, but it's not best.
Yeah.
And so just kind of fell out of radio there for a little bit, and then got in to a couple little other stations and doing some other work and here and there. And then all of a sudden, a friend of mine, Blake Carter, was working in Toronto, and she was actually the voice of the Garth channel, if you remember that on Sirius XM.
Oh, right.
So that was coming to an end. So Garth knew Blake. I worked with Blake at one of my previous jobs way back in Saskatoon, and he goes to her, I want to do radio again. Do you know any good people? And she goes, you need to talk to my buddy Jonny. And I was like, so she calls me and she's like, Garth is going to call you tomorrow. I'm like, you're hilarious. Garth Brooks is going to call me. He's like, no.
Garth Algar from Wayne's World?
Exactly. He's going to FaceTime you at like 3 o'clock. Make sure you have a chat with him. Kind of talk to him about radio, your ideas, and that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my God, what am I didn't sleep. Could not sleep.
Wow.
Woke up the next day. Woke up, had coffee. My wife's like, you're a wreck. I'm like, I can't do this call. What am I going to say to him? Anyway, long story short, he FaceTimes me. And he's driving, he has sunglasses on and a hat, and he looks down and he just asks me a ton of questions about radio, and I just pepper him with all these answers. And he goes, this all sounds great, we'll pick it up from here, and hangs up. And I was like, pick it up from here?
What does that mean?
What does that mean, pick it up from here? Didn't hear from him for like 2 months. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we had a call. And he goes, I want to do some stations. Are you guys in? I'm like, well, of course I'm in. I'm not in. Like, yeah. So anyway, Sevens Radio Network is who I work for. We have 3 stations. Tailgate Radio right here. That's my baby that I take care of. We have the Big 615, which is all country. And then we made the Garth channel again, recreated the Garth channel 2.0. And so we have those 3 stations. We have them on TuneIn exclusively. 100% free. So when you're not on EST, cruise over to those ones.
Well, Tailgate's got a nice. They mix in sports with what you guys are doing too.
So,
you guys like Maria Taylor, who's on NBC, who's hosting sometimes. Yeah. You've had a different like athletes come on and guest DJ.
So that was really cool. So the idea for Tailgate was, why can't I play multiple genres on a station? That was my big hang up with traditional radio. Because you only have pop, you only have country, you only have rock. I'm like, I want to bring them all together.
Now radio was the closest we've ever gotten in this city.
100%.
Where you could get AC/DC sometimes.
Exactly.
But then they're also playing like Taylor Swift.
So Tailgate's thing is like very, very high energy, few ballads. You go from Eminem, Garth Brooks, AC/DC, Taylor Swift. Like, we're all over the map.
You put your playlist on shuffle.
It is your phone into a radio station.
Yes.
And
that's
then,
a great way to describe it.
So as soon as we brought that to tune in, they're like, guys, we have tons of partners like MLB and March Madness and all these partners. And like, can we do something like sports focused because it says Tailgate? I was like, let's do it. So we started getting introduced to a bunch of other people. And one of our best shows that does very well is called the Tailgate Takeover, where we let anybody that wants to host an hour, they play their own music. And we've had, obviously, Garth host it, but we've had other sports figures. I think Gretzky's on the list coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, when they came to me with that one, I was like, what? We're going to get Wade on? We've had Brothers Osborne, Lainey Wilson, just a bunch of people that just want to come on and play their music.
Jonny, can they play, do they have to be like singles from artists of all time, or can they play like deep cuts and B-sides?
They play deep cuts. They play anything. They get their 1 hour on the station.
I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, they can play anything they want. It's usually about 12, 13 songs. And the thing is about the story. They got to tell a story why they're playing it. Well, why does this song make them, get up in the morning, crack a beer?
You will not get that on traditional radio. Because even the all request hour, where call in with your requests.
Going back to now, I'll give 1,000% credit. Adam McHale stood...
Do they still do that?
Yes. He will die on that hill. I know that.
Nice.
Good for him.
He will play 100% requests for 1 hour.
Because a lot of stations, when you say, bring in your requests, I'll spill the beans because we're not there anymore. Majority of the songs are pre-planned. If you have a good request, they might put yours in. Or
maybe
if your request is one of the songs coming up, they'll be like, hey, this request comes from Steve.
Exactly.
We got AC/DC on. And
are we allowed to crack these already?
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. Okay.
It's independent.
They're not.
We do whatever the hell we want.
Love it.
Oh, well, but okay, with the drinking, I will say this. That is something that when I started in radio, and I came in after even it was at its height, was part of having a drink on the job was part of radio. You don't get plastered. You don't get plowed before you do a show. But if you want it on a Friday afternoon, a Tuesday afternoon, you're doing your work, you're on Music Master.
Yep.
You want to crack open a drink, you crack open a drink, and no one bats an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we want here.
I went to one station, and I did that. I brought a case in Friday afternoon, and like, what are you doing? I'm like, is this not a radio station? Guys, what? We're not allowed to drink here? Never mind.
Wow.
We
stiff.
I brought that down. Like, I fought with that. To the bitter end. There was always something in my drawer ready to go.
You had a tickle trunk, and it was stocked.
Part of it too is with Sobeys Liquor. We'd have a bunch left over, and I just kept throwing them in a drawer to just have.
Yeah. Solid.
Because you never know when somebody's like, I could really use a drink, and I'd be like, well, let's open up here. And then we got let go. I rated it for a couple, and then I left it, and I was like, whoever wants, they're all right.
We took a whole bunch to Eric's that day. Remember?
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
What a day, Jonny! What a day.
But yeah, it was
as you can imagine.
But yeah, that's what I like. The Tailgate is great because it is a mix.
I'm starting to think like of my playlist right now.
What you would do?
Yeah. Okay. Name 5 songs. Like
jeez.
I've done this before to a lot of people.
Yeah.
5 songs that get you pumped up. Energy.
Yeah.
You just want to hear them on repeat.
Energy.
You just want to hear them on repeat, and they could be any genre.
I would do like I'm an indie rock kind of guy.
That's cool.
And I think I would dip it to like my junior B high school. Like we would always have Disturbed, Not Down with This. What was the other one? The Game.
Yeah.
I love that song in warm up. It always got me pumped up. Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback, but I would have to pick one or the other, and then I would have to go with like a Hawksley Workman song because I'm a huge Hawksley Workman guy. Little Matthew Good, maybe. Obviously the Killers, and then I'd have to like go into like I have this thing like when I'm dating girls, I'll send them songs at like 2 a.m. when I'm absolutely schmammered.
Are you dating right now or no?
I sent one last night, but I wasn't bombed. I didn't.
What did you send?
Nickelback, She Keeps Me Up.
Oh, look at this guy go. That's very smooth.
That's a very.
But like, and yesterday, like the difference is we're getting older, so I'm not always like absolutely tuned right up on a Thursday night. So I just, she's like, I like when you send me those, and I was like, really? I thought they were obnoxious. She goes, no, I like them. They're a nice surprise.
You just send you mixtape.
You just send the link?
Yeah, I just sent a Spotify link.
Oh, okay.
So I would something like that, and I would tell the story behind it.
The stories that's the best part. We had Vernon Davis on. He was telling stories about all his football coming through the ranks, like just cool stuff you don't hear on a daily basis is what happens with the takeover.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Just quickly, a keyword for the EST Flyway presented by FlyYAG and the LVCVA. That'll happen just before 10 o'clock right here on the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. We're live on TuneIn Radio, Edmonton Sports Talk. We're also on iHeart and YouTube. Check out all of this that you are doing. And it was actually funny because I remember when we were first trying to get on TuneIn and stuff, I text you just to see if there was any help there. And it was just, I'm in Kansas City for a big station launch. And then a couple weeks later, you messaged me saying like, we'll set up a call. And Tailgate Radio, with 5 billion impressions in the last 4 days of your station. I was like, oh, that's it?
These guys, they go press hard.
And we were in Nashville for 2 days, and now we're in New Orleans for the Garth Show tonight.
Yeah, I know.
So that's your life that you're living right now.
That was a whirlwind trip, that one. Yeah, we went to Kansas City to launch Tailgate Radio, and then that night, Garth said, he's like, do you think I can throw the first pitch? I'm like, well, of course they're not going to say no. So we went and watched him throw the first pitch, and then, we went to Nashville for a few days, and then went to a show in New Orleans. Have you guys been to New Orleans before?
No.
Okay.
Super Bowl's there next year.
I haven't been there or Atlanta.
Okay, I think everybody needs to go once. I don't think it's a multiple visiting place. Like, it's really cool, but you kind of see it all in the couple days that you're there.
Yep.
Like, Bourbon Street is tiny in terms of width. It is
same as West Edmonton Mall, Bourbon Street?
Yeah.
I miss when West Edmonton Mall, Bourbon Street was
actually Bourbon Street.
Trying to be the New Orleans Bourbon Street, just with the clowns and all that.
I think it's a mix of Vegas met Mexico. Is Bourbon Street?
Is Bourbon the real Street. Bourbon Street.
The real Bourbon Street.
Wow.
It's skinny. Everybody's we went at 10 in the morning. It is just a gong show at that time. Like, it was just wild. I'm like, what is happening here? And everybody's trying to sell you something.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's trying to sell you something. And so you walk in, everything's 2 for 1, by the way, too. So if you're going to order a beer, you get 2 for 1. Order a shot, 2 for 1. Everything was 2 for 1 that day.
That's a good day.
Maybe it was a special, I don't know, but it was a wild time. So do it once, but that's it. You're good.
Is Bourbon Street? I've heard people say that there's a few that love New Orleans.
I said New Orleans. They're like Canadian.
Is it like, if you go off the main street, is it as dangerous as people make it out to be?
I was there at 10 in the morning, so it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure at night it probably does get crazier for sure. Yeah. But like, we could walk from our hotel to it, so we didn't Uber or cab anywhere. But it was nice. It was fun.
Yeah, I think what I've heard there is it's like when you leave that center type thing, there's not a lot more to do.
No,
right.
There's the cemetery visits to go check out. I guess there's all those type of things, and then the band's playing and stuff.
We did go to a new bar down from our hotel, and this is where I really found U.S. different than Canada. We were sitting at the bar, and they're like, "Oh, do you guys want to try some samples of some new drinks?" We're like, "Oh, okay, sounds good." And they came over with a tray, and they left a tray of drinks on our table, and I was like,
"Samples?
This is the samples?" And it's full drinks. I'm like, "You guys are just clearly you're not making any money today because you're just giving me a tray of drinks." But like, imagine going to a bar here and you got an actual big full drinks.
Not gonna happen. They give you an
we go to Hudson's tomorrow and it's just would you like some samples? Here's your drinks for the
now,
night.
They might, because they're fun like that. But let me
I don't know, full drinks and stuff.
That's a very generous sample size. Question for you, because you're traveling the States now and you're in the South, and I found this. Tell me, I'm gonna bounce it off of you, Johnny. Tell me if I'm ridiculous or if it has some credence. The best bars and spots to hang out in, like a New Orleans, like a Nashville, they always, for some reason, have a hint of piss in the air.
Someone's not part of the South tourism community. Come to Nashville for the piss-smelling bars.
I swear to God, there's always that little scent, and you're like, why does it smell like piss in here? And you know, and it's
compared
always
to the Hilltop Pub.
The Hilltop Pub doesn't smell like pee. that bad.
It did. It has 100%.
This is different. This is like you're in the south.
Okay.
The air is more humid,
And I
it
love the
just like
Hilltop Pub. Just
lingers
throwing that
for
out
some reason. Like I would always do the walk from our hotel in Nashville up the hill towards. There's a couple like breakfast spots and Panera Bread. I think you know which one.
Panera.
Yeah. And there's that corner. There's a Starbucks. And as soon as you go by Broadway, and obviously there's the back alley where if you need to get VIP to the bars, you can go. And I'd always be like, it smells like piss. Like last night was a good night. For whatever reason, like you go there so many times, and you're like, oh yeah, and then you get into like. I don't know. I'm not saying
I think you've now tainted my experience.
But no, now you're gonna
walk into bars like, damn, it smells like piss.
You know it's gonna be a good night. Yeah. No, I'm just bouncing it off you. I said take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think it's like you get that little. Oh, this is gonna be a good place. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I want to go to Nashville one day. Really liked it. Now you ruin it.
Exactly.
Why?
Because I don't need to go into piss. Everything being smelling like piss.
It's the equivalent of saying, oh, you went to such and such small town and it always smells like hay bales. You know, it's part of the charm.
I think they built Broadway perfect in terms of putting Bridgestone there.
Yeah.
Just it lets out right on Broadway.
Yep.
So any game, concert is just instant party.
Country Music Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah.
Is that the spot of the NHL now?
Nashville?
Yeah, like is that like especially like reporters? They all have their places they love to go visit.
It's been very popular.
Is
for a
it
long
become
time.
number one, or is there still a couple cities that might be? Ahead? I guess Vegas would have to be.
New
right
York
up there.
is always like I always tell people when I was traveling regularly with the team that New York is just in its own stratosphere. Like you can't even compare it to the rest of the league. Chicago's up there, but you're not going to the rough parts of Chicago. You're only in downtown. Was with the Russian Triangle and Michigan, all that, the Miracle Mile, like it's great. And then Nashville is right up there, but I mean,
But you only get one game if you're going, right?
yeah,
Because like when you can do the Vegas, LA, Anaheim triangle, that's awesome.
that's great. Yeah, and you can mix Phoenix in there too,
Right.
If
Maybe.
if they're sticking around, but you could before.
I'll just say this quickly on that. It sounds like they'll be there next year.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't think they'll pull the pin before that auction.
Right.
And that auction will be June, and Bill Daly said they won't have enough time to relocate if it falls through there.
And we might
so
have
I think
Craig
they have
Morgan
one more
on
year.
tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, we might have Craig Morgan on tomorrow for Hello Hockey to talk about that. But you're right.
Yeah.
that was
I think we're getting one more year of Arizona minimum.
yeah.
But
Yeah, what a
you
mess.
could continue.
Yeah, you go to Nashville, you just get one game.
You get the one, yeah.
But you get but the party part of it seems like
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's fantastic.
It's what the reporters want to go to, and you want that assignment if you can.
Vegas is there.
Like if you could be a playoff series with Nashville,
Yeah.
you'd want that, but also you realize like hopefully that doesn't go 7 because liver could be hurting big time.
Yes, 100%. Dallas, Montreal.
Dallas, really?
Yeah, Dallas is amazing.
Dallas.
I loved it. Have you been there yet?
No, I'm not.
Go with Garth.
Oh yeah.
How much do you actually talk to Garth on on the course of a month? How many times would you maybe chat? with him?
I don't know about that. I would say text maybe once a week.
Yeah, once a week texting with him.
But talk.
Oh no, the text is talk. That's this day and age. That's talk.
Oh, okay. That's once a week then.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's
Just texting Garth.
But it's business. It's not like I'm asking what's for supper.
No,
Like,
but it's still Garth.
Yeah, it's
not
really-
a lot of people that just go business with Garth even.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
No, it's pretty cool.
I still just like
And he's-
somebody from Edmonton, right? Like that's just so weird.
The thing about him that I think I really love is he's such a student of whatever he takes on. He took on that bar just now, just opened in Nashville.
Cool.
And he was like in it to win it, wanted to learn everything about the bar industry, Same thing with radio. He's like, how do we do this? What's going on? He wants to learn everything, what we're doing every day. So that's what a lot of it is questions, answers. How about this? How about that? How about this? Can we do this? Can we not do that? Why can't we do that? How about we do this instead? Like it's very, very much like that.
Is a guy like that accomplished, has a legacy already, still obviously a lot of energy, relatively young. Do you think he does and takes on these different tasks like a bar or radio station or network to keep himself occupied and keep his mind busy, or is he just a absolute fiend for work? Like, how do you view it?
I think it's both.
Yeah.
He loves being busy.
Yeah.
Loves it. That's just his life.
Interesting.
He's a busy guy and he just takes everything on and does it to 110% all the time. But at the same time, I think he's just one of those guys who when somebody brings him an idea, he's like, why can't we do that?
Interesting.
Let's do that. And then he will just make you so immersed in it that you're like, man, I got to execute now.
Huh.
Sometimes it's pressure.
Yeah, I believe that.
I love whenever he announces like a concert or something. Like he's been to Edmonton a couple times, and all of a sudden he's on the TV on the morning shows, promoting it like himself. And not many artists nowadays go do that in like Edmonton and stuff. And he's a hustler. Looks like
when I first started like really following Garth, this was way before I even talked to him or nothing. He does this Monday night live on Facebook, and just to talk to the fans. And it's a conversation with Garth, and you can ask questions, and he answers them. And I was like, why don't more artists, sports figures, whoever, talk to their fans more often?
This? Maybe they want money out of it.
That's
I
a
don't
great
know.
question. Like it's changed. Like I'll go to Alfonso Davies, and when he's twitched before,
right?
Yeah.
And that's like a way for some of them. F1 drivers often are twitching or driving online and stuff, and they're getting the messages and they're being able to interact with their fans. Yeah, I don't know.
But think of your favorite band.
Yeah, no, like it's.
Imagine they went on even once a month, and
where
you could just they could just sit there, chat, and you could just ask questions.
Maybe none of them have just even thought of doing it.
I don't know. Anyway, I started following that like years ago, and then it's just so cool how you learn about him, and
Interesting.
very cool.
Now, how long were you in traditional radio, like the FM?
18 years, 17 years.
How was the transition to going to digital only?
It scared me.
Yeah,
Because all I knew was AM and FM. All I knew is 5-minute commercial breaks.
Yeah.
All I knew is CanCon, clocks, CRTC, all that. And when I got to TuneIn, they're like, you don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff. And I was like, So what I had to do is unthink a lot of the things, or untrain myself on how traditional radio works, and be like, can we do this? And like, yeah. Can we do that? Yeah. It was always yes. And I was like, so we can just kind of do whatever we want? And like, yeah, make great radio. I was like, cool.
but a concept.
Just go. Just go.
It I don't want to say just because we're all part of it now, but it does seem like this is where it's going, especially in Canada, with where the people running our stations in this country, it's getting smaller and smaller, and it's just radio. I will always stand by isn't broken.
No.
It is very successful, and it is just how it was run has driven it into the ground. It beat television, beat satellite radio. It could have always survived, but now we're not allowing the people to do it properly.
I think radio, I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, is in a bad spot in Canada in terms of all these syndicated shows. And it has to do with let's say there's a guy in a Red Deer doing mornings or afternoon drive, and he wants to come to Edmonton next. That's his next stop or her next stop.
Yep.
And they usually start at a night show.
Yep.
There's no night show anymore for that person.
Touche.
Well,
There's barely an afternoon show for that person in a bigger market. And so you don't think they're going to go straight to a morning show, because look at the morning shows in this city. They're all fantastic.
Established.
So they're established, years long, great listenership. So where does that guy in Red Deer who's rocking it go next?
Well, I even look at it as when those morning shows come to an end for whatever reason, who replaces them?
Oh, exactly.
There's no talent out there, because even like in those Red Deers now, it's syndicated there now, where it's one person. Like before, it used to be Bonneville had its own people,
Lloyd
Cold Lake had its own people, Lloyd had its own people. All the little stations had people.
Yep.
Medium markets had their people, large markets had their people, and it was just like the feeder system. Small people went to medium, medium went to large.
anymore.
There's no farm team, and even on the major markets, there's so much syndication. And syndicated, like for those, I don't know if ever, I would assume a lot of people understand that, but it's just like one person doing a show in one city, but it's being played on multiple cities.
Yeah.
There's so much there that if one person leaves, you're now having to replace that, but you have no one to replace it with. It's the same I have with TV, where it's if Rashog were to announce he's done, before you would have sports departments from CTV's globals across the country that TSN could look at and go, who could we get for the next step up? Now there are no sports departments, basically.
Right.
So where's the next James Duthie going to come from? Where's the next, and in radio, I feel like, where's the next person coming from? Because we're not having a spot where we're developing them, because we don't have a lot of people.
And there's a lot of good people in the smaller markets. Like I listen to a ton of radio across the country, across the states, and they're in these smaller markets, it's killer talent, but they're never going to get to that big city because there's no spot for them.
That's terrible. I have a question that reminded me of something. When we were launching this and getting it going, and I, like you always have your reservations and your concerns and stuff like that. Obviously, we've been lucky. This is, it seems to be catching on quite a bit, and we're very proud of that, and we're thankful for it. But I remember I was on YouTube. I went down a rabbit hole, and it was so-and-so reacts to the Tragically Hip. And it was a black guy, and it's probably mid to late 40s down in the States somewhere. And he's like, yo, I got this listener. He's been watching my YouTube channel for years, and he really wants me to listen to the Tragically Hip. He's like, I've heard of these guys. I have no idea what they are. And he read this letter that the guy sent to him with the recommendation to listen to Grace 2 and get reaction. And as he was reading it, he's like, this song is still played on my rock station in Toronto regularly, almost every day. And then the guy just stops. He goes, damn, y'all listen to radio still there? And wow. Johnny, like, no joke, I was like, oh, we are behind in Canada. And then I feel like even in Alberta, we're kind of isolated a little bit. Maybe we're a little bit even further behind than the bigger markets. Maybe Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal, whatever. Do you think that is somewhat true, where we're still kind of a few years behind, where, when we tell people we're a digital radio station, right, some of them look at me and they're like, what the hell does that mean?
Right. Yeah, I think, I don't know if we're behind so much. I think we're just learning that you can consume it differently. Like, really, if you look at last thing I just read on AM, FM, the number one consumption is in the car still. Not by landslide. Like, nobody turns on their... Do you have an AM, FM transmitter at your house, by like a little radio?
I do have a radio.
I do not.
Okay. I'm radio, yes, right? And I throw on CJSR when I get home, and I'm listening to CJSR.
Dumb question.
But I don't. Johnny, I don't.
Yeah. You have your computer,
yes,
or your Alexa or whatever, right?
Exactly.
But you can still listen to your local station there.
Of course.
Exactly. So I think people here are just learning how to consume it differently, because in the car it's still number one. But I know there's advancements being made big time, especially in the electric vehicle world, where your dash is just going to have an app. Could be TuneIn, could be iHeart, could be whatever, and that's where you get your local station.
Yeah.
There's not the AM, FM is, as we saw, AM is pretty much gone out of all.
It's not going to be electrical cars, because partly the electrical motors,
exactly,
and the electricity and stuff screws up with the signal.
Exactly.
So the AM's going to be out.
Yeah, I think we're just going to consume all our same radio just differently.
Right.
And I think CRTC has to look at that, and that's why you see some of these big broadcasters, I hate to say it, shutting down transmitters, because they know it's way cheaper to go online, right?
Well, and I felt this. I'm just a little surprised we didn't stay at the.
I know
that was the one thing that surprised me, looking back and going, we had all the infrastructure at 1260 with Bell to have been an online-only sports station.
100%.
We could have been a guinea pig for them, where 100%. They could have shut down the transmitter, they could have shut that all down. We could have still done. We were on iHeartRadio. We're at tsn.ca.
Yeah.
We had the online presence. Yes. We had our podcast going, and they could have tried and be like, "You got 3 months run-up time before we're going to shut the transmitter down." Let's say, promote the hell that the transmitter's shutting down, and this is the only place you can get it. And we could have, in theory, been trying to do that there, and they didn't want to. And we're okay with that. We're okay with that.
To answer your question again, Tommy, I've been in a billion Ubers in the last year. Everybody still listens to AM and FM. I don't know. I don't think it's going to die out of the vehicle anytime soon.
AM, yes, because of the electric car thing.
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing. FM, no. FM still matters. I do believe that. And, but local radio to me, that's wrong. Yeah. It matters, because COVID, when it hit, there's not a lot of ways to spread information out to the public. TV, radio are two of the biggest ones still, though. We had a thing where we had to talk about COVID every so often, be like, these are the latest numbers that are coming, because there's just a reach that you have, that it's, we're a sports station, but we also got to be like, Dr. Hinshaw's released the latest numbers. Here's the latest measures. You got to pass it out there just for public information. That's still always going to be important, because you need that locally, and whether that comes digitally now only, but there'll always be some FM stations.
Yeah. That struck me the way he said. He's like, damn, you guys still listen, right? And this guy's got I'm looking, he had posted that video of him listening to Grace 2 and reacting 2 weeks prior, and it had 65,000 views.
Did he like it?
He loved it.
Oh, good.
He was like, damn. He's like, what is this? And he loved the beat, and he loved the build up, and He loved Gord's voice, and it was really. I was just like, what is going on? And neat video, and that line stood out to me. He's like, damn, you guys still listen to radio in Canada? And I was like, does that mean like we're behind?
The one thing I love about you saying with Tailgate Radio and letting people take over and play their own music, and Adam McHale doing that here in Edmonton with Now, it's just there's too much music isn't being picked these days on radio stations like it used to, where you had that person who sat down as music director and curated the station.
Yeah, F9.
And went with feelings or went with their sound and their thoughts, and now it's research. What does the research tell you?
100%.
But to have places now that just like, no, we're going to play you deep cuts. Oh, I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Where did this come from? Not well, it's researched really well, so of course everyone knows it because it's researched well. They know the song.
Yeah.
Because the feel of radio, FM radio, is gone.
Raise a Little Hell will always test well.
Yes.
It always will.
It's also a big Edmonton Oilers song.
Oh
Third
my
period. You just know it's coming in the third. Big offensive or defensive zone face-off.
Were you guys there
close
last
game.
night?
I was
No,
there for a
I was
couple
on
periods.
location. Hudson.
I was there.
Did you hear it?
I don't remember. I was a couple in by that time.
I love see, and I always text JMO like because he'll play it sometimes in the second period, and I'll text JMO meaning like they pulled it out early.
Yeah.
They pulled out Raise a Little Hell a little
Yeah.
early. Where this is a big one.
On Tuesday, I think it was second or third period. I was again on location. Hudson's great time, but I heard April Wine, and I texted DJ. I'll leave his name out of it, and I was like, please tell the old white guys to get out of the playlist because this is ridiculous. April Wine, Bay City Rollers on a Saturday, Raise a Little Hell. Like, get that crap out of here already. But like you said, it tests well, but it's so bad. And those are great songs, but not in those moments.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree.
I disagree. Third period, 2-2 hockey
Nerd
game.
alert.
3 minutes to go. Oh, I want that. I want to get the crowd going with Raise a Little Hell.
Get outta here.
I also always had like, you can't have a Grey Cup without Trooper. Like it just, and this is I think the first
Jamo's
year Trooper
right.
basically hasn't been there, but they're always at the very least in a street corner playing for you.
Yeah, the boys in the bright white sports cars sneak that jam in somewhere.
Me, JMO, Toby, and Warren, who used to be of the Bear, we created like the all Canadian music festival where we just have Canadian bands like the CanCon Music Festival. But
Patio
every night it
lanterns on
ends
loop.
with Raise a Little Hell, Trooper comes out, and that's how the night ends. That was our big crescendo.
Oh boy,
Shouldn't they end with "We're here for a good time"? No, that's the ending song.
that's a good song.
No, we had
That's the ending song.
maybe that's the beginning.
Maybe that's
Maybe that's the beginning. Oh, you would have loved this conversation we got into because we had like Ron McLean coming out to introduce a band and like
gross.
going through the full spiel and it's
there's a video that plays about their upcoming.
we had the entire all Canadian the Con-Can Music Festival would be something else.
Sharpie texted in 780-218-9999. Sharpie says, I'm with Iwanyk and on his side here. Classic rock and sports go hand in hand. I want to counter that, Sharpie, by saying, no, you're saying hockey and classic rock go hand in hand because there's no classic rock in basketball.
No.
Baseball, there's no classic
Football
rock.
would have.
Football,
some.
maybe by accident.
Some baseball maybe their walk-up song.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't think there should be one genre for sports generally.
No, there's
You should be playing some classic rock at an Oiler game. You should. There's no question.
Gross. Send it away.
No, there should be AC/DC every so often.
No.
But you should also be playing some newer stuff. You need to mix in everything, I think.
Like the dorky kid from Albuquerque going up to the dish probably wants to hear Toby.
I pick up on music quite a bit. They grab the remix of a lot of the classic rocks now.
I
So
don't
there's
mind
an
that.
extra beat. There's an extra. Just tweak it a little bit,
I
right?
prefer that.
And it seems to get everybody pumped up. I thought it was a good atmosphere last night overall. I really did.
The DJ at Oilers games, he's a friend of mine, does a great job, and he knows he's got his hands tied behind his back
For
to
sure,
a certain
for
extent
sure.
because of old white dudes who love the Bay City Rollers.
Caster 1990 saying, Matt, isn't there a push by U.S. government to not eliminate AM in cars because the signal carries further and the U.S. Emergency Service is pushing for it to stay? That was with Ford. Ford announced that they were getting rid of AM from their cars, and then the president, and they pushed back, and then they kept it. But again, I don't know if the U.S. has declared this. The EU's declared only electric vehicles being made by 2035. Canada has declared that at the moment. Only electric vehicles by 2035. I think the U.S. is going to go that way too. And if you go only electric vehicles, naturally that will eliminate AM radio.
AM though too. I think it's something crazy like 5-6 times more expensive to run the transmitter than an FM.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more power.
Very expensive.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for as long as it can work, there'll be a push to keep it.
Oh, trust me, I love AM.
Yeah.
I started on AM.
Wow. It sucks that there's no music on AM right now.
Yeah.
Listening to music on that frequency, there's a beauty to it.
Yeah. If you like get an oldie show,
yes,
classic country show on AM, come on.
With that little crinkle to
Could
it.
they not add the crinkle and a filter effect?
No, it's
to a clear signal.
Now there's an idea.
Hey,
no, it's not the same. It's like listening to a vinyl. It's not the same as like as you throw on a CD, you throw on an MP3, it's great. But you throw on a vinyl, there's an absolute beauty to it.
We've got
and that's
face
AM
filters.
music.
We've got face filters that'll turn a soft 6 into a hard 8.5. And you're telling me we can't add the crinkle of old time radio?
We totally can.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not going to be the same. No, it's as Eric and I said this past summer. 2 of our favorite radio stations got killed. So
You miss those oldies, huh?
I was getting like Fleetwood Mac or something.
I love Fleetwood
8 AM dial with that. It was the best.
Can
you
we
can't
quickly
get that anymore.
go back to in-house music at sporting events? Because I like that.
Yeah, this is great.
Where do the Elks sit with that right now?
Much better.
With their music?
I
With
think
the
so.
music in-house during game, are we happy with it? Is it too loud? Is it not? Because I've heard there was lots of complaints one time from season ticket holders that it was too new, too loud.
Well, that's a whole can of worms, Johnny.
So last year was the first year in years I got to Elks games, and quite frankly, I didn't notice the music.
Oh, there we go.
I will say that.
I think it's gotten better, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like, and I think the same DJ.
I agree with you. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was good last year.
Like, you're not going there to tap your toe. Like, you want to be pumped
It's
up.
a
Big
football
play
game.
coming up. Yeah. And I think of the college games I've gone to, the NFL games I've gone to, and like the feel you get, the rumble from the music between plays. It's quick. It's like boom, 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 boom. And it's like, you're like, damn, let's go. This is a huge play. And you don't want to be sitting, raise a little hell on like 3rd and 1 with less than a minute to go in the game. It's like,
No, it's
get
not-
lost.
That's
That
the
crap.
time to do it.
Oh, stop it.
You get that stop and you
Stop
get
it.
the ball back and you're winning that football game. Let's get the crowd going here.
I've got a jumbo pack of Werthers for you as your treat for the weekend.
I have a dish on my
I
coffee
know.
table that has a bunch of Werthers in it. Not gonna lie, straight up.
God.
I love a good Werthers.
Let's get toe tapping because we need a big play.
No,
here.
it's-
Get out of here.
I don't know. I'll still love it.
Defense needs a stop, and we're going. My boy's gonna play in the big league. So shut up. That's not for that moment. You know what I mean?
I like you singing these songs.
Yeah,
I want more of Tommy singing here, ripping these songs.
And I love these songs. It's just not right anymore. It
Right.
doesn't fit the moment.
Right.
That was 20 years ago, if that. Like, let's go. Pump me up.
You need to mix that in, but with the new stuff.
My dad loved Alessia Cara on the 2018
You're not
Grey
playing
Cup.
Alessia Cara 3rd and 1.
No, but I'm just
in the
saying,
minute
like,
to go.
even he can adapt, and he's almost 70.
Right.
He's like, that was good. Who
But
was
you
that? I'm
can't
like,
just
she's great. She won a
eliminate
Grammy.
all of classic rock.
Man, okay, play it when the team gets off the field after warm up.
Wow.
And you get that like 10-minute window where there's all the commercial and sponsor bits, and then enough. That's
No,
it.
you got your
Basta.
Thunderstrucks, your Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes,
you
that
know,
okay, like-
your big ones.
Yeah, like you're not pulling out Stairway to Heaven here.
That'd be weird. Okay,
I would like Sabbath. Like I don't there could be a couple
Crazy
Sabbath
Train, okay.
Hold
Crazy
on.
Train, like
Junior B, hockey, Saskatchewan,
yes.
like 2003-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Saskatoon at a game, and they're, man, this is hilarious. I was cheering on the Warman, I don't even know, Crusaders at the time.
Yeah.
And we go to the game, and somebody's doing the music during warm up. Okay, fine. And then all of a sudden a stoppage happens, and they hit play. And it was the start of AC/DC's Hell's Bells. And it was just
boy.
bong,
terrible.
bong. Puck drops, they stop it, and right away, quick whistle, goalie gloved it. Bong. I'm like, are you serious? We're not even switching the song. We're just gonna play the beginning.
We got to get to the song.
I love this part.
I screwed up. I'm making sure we get to the loud stuff.
I was like, holy cow, this is not even happening.
That's not how you do it.
3 times. Because there's like so many bongs at the beginning of the song, right?
Yeah.
Bong.
It's a slow build.
Yeah, even when it gets going, it's still slow.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly, they just had it on CD, hit play.
Not
That's
right. My old junior BT and the Edmonton Red Wings, shout out to the Red Wings. They still come out to "Come On, Feel the Noise" by Quiet Riot.
Solid.
I have a soft spot in my heart for that crappy 80s song.
I love it.
I'm glad we're having this. This feels so liberating right now. Music and sport and in stadiums.
It matters.
It does.
They work so well together.
Okay, you're in the Major League Baseball. You're coming up to bat. What's your song?
See, and I feel like
that's
I'd
a
have
good
to go
one.
deeper because like initially, but I'd steal it. It's Enter Sandman to me from like Mariano Rivera. Like that was just. I feel like I'm ripping that one off, so I'd have to think of something different. But that to me is like the best one ever.
You know what's
When Rivera was coming out, that
Right.
song would play.
Right.
Like I went to one Yankee game at Yankee Stadium. I saw a lot of things. I did not get to see him come out to Enter Sandman. It was like, that sucks. Like that was the only thing. Like you, because it's just iconic. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you could top that. So what would I want? Hell's Bells.
Bong. That would be hilarious.
you 3-pitch strikeout every time. That's how mad the pitchers are at you.
Before you jump in, okay, it would also depend what I would want to do with this. Do I want to fire myself up or do I want to mess with the other team? Because there would be like some guys would do. I would like to do like Baby Shark or something. Like that starts playing.
Really throw 'em off.
Just completely like, what is this? But like, yeah, Baby Shark, do. And just knowing that I'm messing with the other team, that would be a way I would look at it. Like finding like, I don't know, some jazz or something.
Yeah.
Macarena.
Absolutely, yes. Like, and for me, it would be like, I already know what's coming.
Right.
So I hopefully would be mentally prepared. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping the pitcher's going, what the hell is this? That's what I would kind of look for.
That I appreciate that very much. The Timmy Trumpet one is great. Like that's fantastic.
Edwin
but that
Diaz
is
coming up
epic.
to that.
Yeah. But one, like, I don't know if I would choose this one. You'd need like an epic 15-second portion of like a great song. Like I'm gonna bring up Nickelback again for crying out loud.
That's
You
okay.
love Nickelback.
Breathe by Nickelback. Like
Did you go to their show last year? Or last June?
no, I kind of
So good.
I've come around on. I used to love them in high school when we were younger because that was like their, like I remember, was it Leader of Men was the album before the big one?
Before Silver Side Up?
Yeah, I think it was
Maybe.
but yeah, Breathe is a good one. There was a couple. Anyway, I'd want something that's like an epic 15 seconds. I'd have to think, like, do a real deep
I
dive.
love
here.
the intro to Nirvana, In Bloom. The big drums on that one.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool walk up.
Joel sang Darude Sandstorm.
Ooh.
Dudley Cotton Eye Joe.
Hey, that one they kind of
get you going.
kibosh because it has.
Oh, yeah, I could see.
Yeah,
We canceled that
Corey
one.
Yeah, that one got
B,
canceled.
Stone Cold Glass Shatter.
that one's great.
That's nice. I like that.
Like,
It's Aaron the accountant saying Warman Crusaders is a hell of a drop. That's as deep as the senior men's Miata Combines playing out of the Access Communications Center.
wow.
I did the in-house voicing for the Crusaders. Oh, it was just terrible.
Pump It, Black Eyed Peas was
That's
mid-year in
yeah.
the 06 playoffs.
That was
Now, I
06.
can't. Whenever that song does play, I just think of 06 Oilers run.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine someone walking up to the dish like Shakira wherever? You want to mess with the other team
And start dancing a little bit with it
just kind of a
too.
little shoulder shimp.
Fuji's killing me softly. Just chill.
Oh yeah, this is kind of.
Jen in the nasty chat saying Drowning Pool.
I don't remember that
I
one.
don't know that one either.
I'm guessing going Let the Bodies Hit the Floor like that.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's so
There's
many good
lots.
ones.
There's a lot of ways you can go with it, but yeah, and that's where just music and sports, it blends so nicely.
Who does a really good job of that, and I don't watch it regular by any means, is WWE.
Yeah,
They really
Yes.
like bring out this music and pump those crowds up.
They also do like even their promos for like a big pay-per-view. They always pick like a song
Yeah.
for like the big ones like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, and it's around all those promos. And it always is just like you just watch the 30-second promo. You're like, I want to watch this. Like I have to. It just sounds. It's great. So they used Drowning Pool once, I think. Zach to come in the nasty chat saying Sweet Caroline and Country Roads. For what though? Like your walk-up song?
are you like a 90-year-old
wait,
man
you
in the
didn't answer,
body
you
of a
just laughed.
20-year-old? Like,
Is that
what's
for a
going on
walk-up?
here?
Oh,
Oh
to get
my
the fans
God.
in it for singing. Okay, yeah.
So
no.
you want all the fans to go bump, 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 right, as you're
Yeah,
walking
you
up.
want to sing.
Okay, I get you.
Wait, no, like, yeah. Is that just to play at any moment or when you're walking up to the plate? Okay.
That's 7th inning in Boston, isn't it?
Sweet Caroline is
Yeah, what's your Sweet Caroline
not
radar?
7th inning because that.
Like, if we're
it
hating on Trooper,
No.
I'm sure you're not a fan of Sweet Caroline at the
I
game.
actually don't mind it because I've experienced it at Fenway and I enjoyed it very much.
That would be good. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? When you get 30,000 people and they're all having a good time, I'm like, this is kind of neat. The one that I don't really care for, and I don't know why, because I love the band and I love the song, is in Colorado when they do all the small things.
I love it.
I hate it. I'm
think
just
it
like,
sounds
this
fantastic.
is annoying.
It's because they beat the Oilers in 4 straight.
Oh, I don't care about that.
That's clearly
like, that
what it
to me.
is.
I don't
Of
care.
all the ones to not like.
That's a great one.
It just doesn't jive with me for whatever reason.
It just brings me back to the 90s and growing
Who does
up
the
listening to
Killers? One of them.
Somebody do the Killers?
Someone does Mr. Brightside.
Yeah,
I think.
the whole arena sings it too.
Yeah,
I don't know that
I have
one.
no problem with that ever. I'm a
he's a big
monster
Killers
fan.
Riverhawks,
Since day one.
Riverhawks do Take Me Country Roads.
Even that one kind of, I'm like,
I love it.
I find it corny,
Everyone does it. That's the thing with that one is that
and
like,
I don't care for that song.
And really?
I'm not a country boy.
Oh, John
Zero
Denver.
Country?
John Denver is amazing.
The first time I ever went to a farm, Johnny, was in Lloyd when I had to go do an agricultural report,
Okay.
filling in for our ag reporter.
Okay.
The next morning, Stacy Comer, our news director, absolutely tremendous news director, calls me into the office. She's like, Tom, sit down. I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, great job on that ag story. I'm like, thanks, Stacy. That was my first time on a farm. She goes, yeah, no, I could tell. What the hell's potash?
Oh
boy.
I had no idea. Potash, obviously.
You
and,
didn't realize what the number one export of Saskatchewan is.
No, I had no clue. And
that's a tough
all
one.
the editors didn't catch it. The other anchors that when it aired the first time didn't change it. Nobody said diddly squat to me. So take me home.
Yeah,
country
no,
roads.
John.
Don't
Like,
care
I'm not
for
the
it.
biggest country guy, but John Denver is fantastic. And there's a used place in Edmonton called Find, and I found like a John Denver. It was a greatest hits album even, and it was just like
Did you give it to
12
Eric?
songs. No, I bought it for myself.
Oh.
And it's fantastic. It's like 45 minutes. Like go on Spotify, find it. You'll love John Denver.
I
after
will
that.
not.
Oh my God. Lose Yourself by Eminem. People do sing that
yeah,
one.
that's a-
And where was where was the Killers? Mr. Brightside. Who sings that one?
I don't know. I saw it the other day. It was the arena went nuts.
Killers in. It's not singing. That's not a good way of doing it.
Meat Texan. You're shaking your fist at the clouds with this take, Tommy.
You've got Virginia Tech uses Enter Sandman.
That's crazy.
Where they're all moving around.
That stadium's gonna crumble.
Wisconsin does. Is it Jumping Around? They do that one.
That's cool. I like that.
When Tom Petty died, Florida did an entire Tom Petty one. I can't remember which song
Love
it was
Tom
though.
Petty.
There's a new country covers album, Tom Petty.
Really?
All the stars, like Luke Combs, everybody, yeah.
That's cool.
It's the biggest regret I have. One of the biggest regrets I have. A little musically wise, biggest regret I never went to see Tom Petty.
That one hurts.
That
Did
one.
you go to that show,
Yeah,
Johnny?
I went to the show, but
Yeah.
he didn't play You Don't Know How It Feels. And I'm like, that's my song I came for. How do you know?
And he played for like 3 hours.
It was awesome.
It was such a great show.
I was gonna go, and I was just like, I'll catch him next time, and then there was no next time.
He
so
was
it
high,
sucked.
and he was enjoying it.
But then I saw Fleetwood Mac and his guitarist Mike Campbell, I think it is, and Stevie Nicks, who's like his best friend. They played a Tom Petty song. It was like the closest I'll ever get to now was this, and I was pretty happy with it. But so there's people covering Tom Petty.
Yeah, so like all these country stars came together and just picked different Tom Petty songs, and the album's coming out soon.
That's
Okay,
cool.
I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to go listen to that one. Quickly, we just got to do the keyword for the
right.
EST fly away to Las Vegas. Zach comes on the other side, so hopefully he could hear that we're doing this. This is your chance to win. I just want to make sure I don't put up the keyword just yet. 2 nonstop flights, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to Cirque, presented by FlyYEG and our partners in Vegas, the LVCVA, nonstop flights to over 50 destinations. Your sports trip starts with a nonstop flight from FlyYEG. Visit flyyeg.com for more information. Get ready to text 780-218-9999 with the keyword for today. You could be the qualifier for today, as we're qualifying people until April 25th. 26th will be the grand prize draw, as we will give away a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. Today's keyword, it's strip. Strip, as in the Las Vegas Strip. You can take it in other ways, but I use this one as the Las Vegas Strip. STRIP. Text it 780-218-9999. You have 5 minutes to text that in before Zacticum gives someone a call, and then I will try to talk to them on the show for a couple of minutes. But yes, strip to 780-218-9999. This is the EST Flyaway keyword for today on the EST Hangout, presented by White Claw. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola, Jonny Jazzno with you here from Sevens Radio Network. Tune in, Garth Brooks, like all of that, and Spirit of Edmonton. So just a bunch of different things with Johnny there. But yes, 780-218-9999, strip. Text that right now.
Johnny has got me thinking with the walk-up song thing. And then like the Hell's Bells reference. I was just going through my music library. I'm like, you know what else would be like equally as awful at a junior B game listening in between whistles? If someone just hit play on Radio Gaga.
Oh my God. The worst.
That would be terrible. Great song. Terrible. We get the little bass line with the electronic thing for like a minute.
I didn't notice, speaking of music at games, I didn't notice, I don't even know what they're called. Are they still called the Brass Tactics at the Oiler game?
Yes.
Or are they just...
Yes.
They're called the Oilers brass band or something, but they're not allowed to actually be called by their name, but they're the brass.
Anyway,
tactics.
I didn't notice them as much during the play last night as I did on the concourse. They seem to be all over the concourse, but during stoppages, they gave them very twice, maybe.
Where were you sitting though?
Upper deck.
Close to them though?
Right across, like I could see them.
Okay, see, and that's the one thing about them is that they'll play at all times, but some people can't hear them because
I thought they were mic'd up. They're not mic'd up?
I think they are, but
I think so.
But they don't always cut to them.
I just found they didn't give them tons of time last night. And they're awesome.
Their energy is great.
Oh my gosh. Best.
Use them a little bit more. Get a little bit more of an organ.
I love the organ.
I love the
Organ?
organ.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's very hockey.
What is the organ goes into Raise Little Hell?
Get out of here, Johnny. Enough.
If it's done with a pianist?
No, not
Come
with
on,
a
it's
pianist.
done differently. It'd be way better.
No, I want like Brass Bonanza and all those old school organ songs that they played in the 70s and 80s. Dun, 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 dun. Everything from NHL 94 is kosher in my books. Yeah.
Love it.
Also, portions of this hour brought to you by the Edmonton Blind Curling Club, hosting the 50th Western Canadian Blind and Vision Impaired Curling Championship. It's on right now through to the 23rd at the Granite Curling Club. Come out, support visually impaired athletes as they look to become champions of the West. Lieutenant Eric on his way down there. If he's not there just yet, he's going to be there for a little bit this morning and this afternoon. So go grab a smash burger with Eric. Go grab a drink potentially if you can get there in time. And,
Yeah, you guys yesterday were talking about curling rink food.
Yes.
Man. Okay, Jasper Place. Did you go last week and play Media Spiel?
I didn't play because I'm still recovering from the shoulder.
What happened again?
Golf.
Classic.
It was I'm pretty sure a golf thing, but now it's been bothering my golf, so I got my labrum repaired.
So you couldn't even skip?
I'm still but I can't throw a rock. I don't think.
Well, they have the thing that connects.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
yeah.
you want to know something? I didn't even think of that. And then Eric took on a team that had 2 people that did that. And it really bothered me because I was like, I feel like it's unfair. Well, no, I felt like it's an unfair advantage. Like I feel like I could throw way better with that. Those people aren't having to go down in the hack, having drank a few beers, wobbling and trying to get their shot done. They got to just walk to the hog line and let go.
Oh, you got to judge weight. It's hard. It's not easy. I've played against a lot of those guys.
But then I didn't even think of that to go left-handed with that or something. And I was like, I could have done that.
Anyway, Jasper Place. I used to play in their Sunday league. And Sunday mornings, we were the first draw of the day at like 11. And you'd roll in there around 10:30. And I swear that chef there on purpose would fry bacon at like 9:15 or 10:15. You're in the parking lot and all you smell is breakfast.
Evil
and it
genius.
was the best dirty breakfast I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Curling clubs are
So good.
It's an underrated spot to go drink at, where you could get good food and cheap drinks.
Crestwood, another good one.
Yes. I went once with there because Eric used to live by there and we had burgers. We stopped by just to have burgers one summer and it was delicious.
I curled there last year and we walk in and the guy has like 5 screens and all these people are coming in, skip the dishes. And everything. I was like, what's going on? He goes, we're super busy. Like, it's like a restaurant. He does that much business. And it's great food in the curling rink.
Eric praises he's at the Granite and he's praising their smash burgers. He's like, they're some of the best burgers you'll find.
Wow. Eric is like excellent at sniffing that kind of thing out.
Yeah.
And
Him and Danny are good foodies.
yeah.
They They find some good spots to go eat.
Were you at Jasper Place? You did go?
I went to go visit, yeah. I didn't have any eat, though.
Do they still have the Nevadas at the bar? You know those Nevada tickets that you rip open?
Yes.
Did they
Yes, they
still
did.
have?
I didn't know they were called Nevadas.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah, no, Jess kept...
More places need to bring those back.
They're like lottery tickets, but you open them and they're like, you could win
It's like 3
from
lemons and you get
$1 to like 100. It was $100 was the max prize, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like 50 cents a piece.
Yes.
I had no idea.
And you just keep opening them, and yeah, Jess from the Bear, her son, they kept buying some for, or her husband bought them for the kid, and he kept opening. He won like $4. I'm like, that's awesome. Or maybe actually it was 6 or something.
I don't think that's legal, but that's fine.
Well, it was just fun.
What's the problem?
They bought
here?
them, and then they brought them up there. I saw somebody win 100. One of Ryder's friends won 100.
Crazy.
Yeah.
See, more people need to bring back the Nevada.
And it's like, yeah, like there's like a certain amount of like, there's only like 500 winners or something.
Yeah,
And you just open them and there's like 5 levels and you're looking at the colors and the lemons and all
you
that.
get like a stack of all these like
at
trash
the end of the
cards.
night, like it's like your table's just full of
Open
ones that it lost.
Oh, no.
And they make like a snap sound when you open.
Yeah, and they're like 50 cents.
Oh, it's great.
Cool.
Very cheap. Oh, curling
Bring that back.
clubs and golf courses. Some of the best spots to just go if you like have some drinks, have some food. 19th hole is amazing.
You always know too if it's a good
All right.
good curling rink if they have pickled eggs.
Oh, yes.
That's a solid rink.
That's how they've done it. They know what they're doing at that point. I wouldn't want that at the golf course as much.
No.
No,
I don't want that at
It
curling.
gets hot and sweaty. And
Yeah. It's like 30 degrees
we
outside. I'm
don't-
coming
we
in.
don't
I don't
want
want to
that.
look at a
give me a pork
bunch of
missile with
pickled
cheese
eggs.
and ketchup on it.
We have a qualifier. Chris, can you hear me? I was starting that way.
I can.
Hey, Chris, congratulations. You're the qualifier for the trip to Las Vegas. Have you ever been to Vegas before?
I have not.
You have not. Oh, so you're
What?
just like, yeah, Chris has never been. Just like first time I went was in February. If you happen to win this trip, though, what would you want to go do? What like, do you look at Vegas and go, that's the thing I need to do if I ever get to Vegas?
Well, like my buddy Call In had qualified, we'd probably hit up the shooting range.
Oh, nice. Now, are you guys making a little deal here that you'll take each other if you win, or who would you take if you're the winner?
Oh, I'm taking him, yeah.
Okay, I like that.
I'm actually going to Vegas in December with my wife.
Oh, that's perfect for you then. You could go on one trip with a buddy because you've already taken your wife to Vegas.
You got it.
Well, congratulations, Chris. You're in the draw, April 26th morning show. Keep your phone on because if you're the winner, the boys will give you a call, and you need to answer your phone if you're the winner to the trip to Las Vegas.
You bet.
Have a great weekend. And that's Chris, our qualifier for today on the Hangout. Your next chance to qualify coming up during the Lock Shop with Dusty and Huss. Chris had never been before. He had a buddy who's qualified, he said, already. And then he said he would take his buddy.
they have a
thing now. He'd take his buddy
yeah.
because also his wife he's taking his wife in December.
Perfect.
Was that seriously your first time when you guys just went?
Yes, I've never been.
Were you
I didn't
blown,
know that.
were you blown away?
Was I blown away? Yeah, it was amazing. Like the Sphere looked incredible.
I haven't seen the Sphere yet.
I had been to New York, so like lights.
Right.
Like the lights there, I've seen lights. I've
Yeah,
been to
yeah.
Times Square. Like, so it wasn't like my first experience of being in like a setting like that. But it was wild to just like walk that strip and see all the different things.
Everything looks super close, but
Yeah.
yet it's super far.
Yeah.
Yes, and they actually do the road really well, where there's like the walkways and there's not a lot
Yeah.
of crossing of the street directly waiting for lights.
Because people used to get hit at those.
But it's like it's very genius that you're gonna have a lot of people who are drunk and stuff, and you got to walk through these pedways, and so it
Yes.
takes a little longer to get places. Like the Bellagio fountain was incredible.
Where'd you guys stay?
We were at Park MGM, which was right next
Okay.
to T-Mobile, which was a fantastic
Right.
atmosphere for
Yeah.
It is a great atmosphere of hockey.
Yes.
game. So yeah, no, I'd never been. First time.
Cool.
It was awesome. I need to go back again.
You need to be there
within
for a weekend. Johnny, we were there early in the week. Midweek, early in the week.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
it was abnormally cold.
Because you went for a game, right?
Yeah.
We
It
got
was
there
right
for
before Super Bowl.
Yes, we
Yeah,
were
yeah,
there
yeah.
for Super Bowl week.
Right.
Which was weird because it was like the first few days there wasn't a lot of Super Bowl feel, and then as Thursday came, it really felt. Or Wednesday came and it felt like Super Bowl. So then I just kept going. Super Bowl and NFL couldn't come to Vegas until the Oilers finished up their game
Did
against.
you guys go
Vegas.
downtown? Fremont?
No.
No, we didn't get time to go there.
Oh, okay.
So there's
That's-
things I
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
miss.
yeah.
Didn't get to that
Fremont.
Circa swim.
Fremont
so
at
there's a
night
lot.
is just.
But we got to the Sphere. Actually, the Fremont right now on their roof or whatever, they have the big bracket.
Oh, cool.
For March Madness. They have the whole bracket just shining up there.
That's pretty sweet.
There's some mutants that turn up in Fremont.
Yeah.
Like, just some absolute degens where you're like, where the hell did you crawl out of? What are you?
That's great.
So, yeah, I never been. I'm not eligible for this, but if somebody wants to take me, more than welcome to.
There we go.
He hasn't been on a weekend, on a bachelor party. Like, you
I've never had
haven't,
bachelor
you
party
haven't
to
done
Vegas.
Vegas unless you've been thrown out the back of a club in Vegas. Hasn't happened to me, but my buddies who I was on trips with for bachelor parties, they've been like tossed out. Strip clubs, like fancy nightclubs.
I want to golf there. The golf course looks crazy. Good
immaculate.
Would you pay the money for Wynn? The most expensive golf
One
course
time.
or whatever? Would you?
One
It's like
time.
what is it, like $900, $1,000
No.
to
It
golf
It was
or
like
something?
$350 in
It's gotta
down
be higher
in the
than that.
downtime. I
I
think
have
it's higher now.
I had the chance to play Torrey Pines, and I was assured when we went down there that, oh yeah, we'll get on for like member price or local price. We have the right address. It's all good. I was like, okay. So we go there to book. We actually drove there because I just wanted to see it anyway. And they're like, yeah, can we get on later this week? Yeah, what's your address? And they gave their address and they like proof of ID because like locals get it.
It's
like
public course.
Yeah.
$80.
Yep. It's cheap.
And but you have to prove, but not just your ID, mail. They wanted a piece of mail.
No.
That makes sense.
From my buddy, and I was like, "Do you have mail?" And he's like, "Nope." And I was like, "Great." So I said, "How much?" Otherwise, it was $3.99 American, and I was like, "I don't know if I could pay $400." And that was a while ago, and I was like, "Yeah." So we didn't.
I went a couple years ago, and I was looking at online because you have to like book it like 90 days in advance or like 60. It's 30 days, I think, if you're non-local. And I kept trying to find times, and North is cheaper than South. South is where they play the final rounds. Like for the farmers, they play both, and then they go to the South. And if the U.S. Opens, they play the South or whatever. So it's the harder course. And it was like 300 some bucks.
Oh, it's crazy.
And I found a tee time finally. And I was like, to my dad and brother, I was like, we should do this. Like, we're not spending $350 American. I was like, but it's Torrey Pines.
I know.
I want to go with Torrey Pines. And I would have done it. I would have paid for that for Torrey Pines. They didn't want to. And I was like, okay. So we go off some other course. I think it was a public course or something that I think Arnold Palmer holds the course record. No, Sam Snead holds the course record there.
Crazy.
Yeah, so that was
Yeah,
fun.
we played a different course
But
too. It was good, but it was
not
no,
Torrey Pines.
No, exactly.
Like that is it'd be on my top 5 list of golf courses I want to golf.
Sawgrass is mine.
Yeah?
I want to play Sawgrass.
Is it now just because it's 17? Or the
No,
whole
I
course?
love the whole course. I love the whole course. The par 5s are so crazy, so tight, tons of water, tons of sand. I would be terrible, but I would like it.
I always wanted to golf Chambers Bay after the 2015 U.S. Open, just by Seattle, where it was a mess. But then they've changed it, and it was where the greens didn't look like greens,
Right.
And now people complained, and they've put actual greens in there. It's like, oh, it's not. I wanted to golf it at the way it was before.
You want to putt from 100 yards out.
I wanted the challenge. Like the golfers hated it because it was challenging.
Yeah.
And I loved it because I was like, okay, I'd love to. Like, I'm not going to golf their tips, but I would have loved to have seen that one. But yeah, Torrey Pines.
I want Whistling Straits too on a non-windy day.
that'd be a good one.
Non-windy day, which is not going to happen, but I think it'd be awesome.
Have you golfed St. Andrews?
No,
you haven't gone.
No, I
St.
haven't
Andrews
been-
Old Course would be
I haven't been
great.
to Europe at all, ever.
Masters would be wonderful, or Augusta.
Impossible.
Yeah.
I only know one person who has ever played Augusta.
I know 2. Wow. James Duthie's done it.
No.
Well, so do you not know the story of media going to cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Duthie's won the draw.
Cool.
Now I think he's back eligible being for the draw. And Cam Cole's done it 3
Cam
times.
Cole, that's right.
He did it 3 times.
Yeah.
I've been on that draw every year for tickets, and I just thank you. Try again next year.
You
Thank
need to go
try
cover
again.
it for Tailgate Radio.
Let's go.
Like, get your press pass and
I
go.
should.
Let's go.
And then I legit, like, I need to start doing that. Taking that weekend off, going to the Masters, getting accredited,
That'd
so I can enter that draw. So one day, like, that's the
That
weird part is
would
that
be cool.
most people don't get a shot at
Yeah.
golfing Augusta. Media members do. All you have to do is
Yeah.
go cover it. You just have to get there, and there's a draw every Sunday about golfing it on the Monday. And I would love to go.
How
do
many?
that.
How many get in? Like how many do they actually let on the course?
That's a great question.
Like-
It's a fair amount,
like
I think.
100?
Oh, I don't know if it's that high.
Okay.
Johnny, just tell them you're Chris Gaines.
The old Chris Gaines project.
And then, if you win the draw, you're not eligible to win it again for 7 years. I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you go back. Yeah.
really?
So for people that cover it all the time, once
did not know
so that's
that.
why Duthie's now back in the draw. Except last year, I think he said he didn't enter. And yeah, Cam Cole won it 3 times, but it was separate. Cam Cole covered it 25 years or something. And if I recall correctly, on his 25th year covering or something, as a thank you to Cam for covering the tournament for 25 years, they gave him a guest pass to bring someone with him.
That's awesome.
The Masters, Augusta was like, thank you for covering this event. Here you go.
Maddie,
like, it's incredible.
Apparently, Augusta and their hospitality is like second to none.
Yep.
Like Duthie is there. You talk about that, but part of that crew is Ryan Vardy, and I know Dave Parker has gone. Dave Parker,
he always
ace
wanted
cameraman, videographer in Edmonton, works with Rashog, basically tolerates Rashog every day.
And Vardy's the Calgary cameraman.
And Ryan Vardy's in Calgary. I worked with him at the Score briefly, and then Vardy says that they love TSN there. And they started giving them the preferential spot in the little media corral that they have by the driving range. And they do appreciate the coverage that TSN does provide. Bob Weeks, Graham Dillette, and Duthie. And
I miss Dillette playing.
Yeah,
I miss him.
He's done a great job as a analyst, I think.
They do a great job of covering it more than I think even what the US used to get and stuff.
Why.
Because they would be on. They're on in now the morning. All morning, and they're covering Amen Corner. They're covering the feature groups. They're on. They're then on from that noon to 1 window as a wrap up, and then at 1 o'clock they hand it over to the national coverage.
Is it CBS?
CBS does the weekend. I can't remember. Was it TNT? TNT used to do the weekend, the Thursday, Friday. I can't remember who does it now.
Does it just give it to Golf Channel?
No, I don't think it's them.
No, Golf Channel doesn't.
I think it might be ESPN now has it.
Okay.
I can't remember. I'm a little off on that one, but and even on the weekend they'll cover it up until 1.
Yeah.
Right.
And like there's like a noon to 1 block I think in the US where you can't watch the Masters really, but Canada still gets our coverage. So they do a great job. And I know that's a big thing for Duthie. He just wants to do the Masters almost every year.
I don't blame him. And Vardy says that has been noticed by the Masters crew or committee or whatever, and they have given TSN preferential treatment.
That's awesome.
For doing that.
I gotta just start. I'll just go for EST, cover it. I'll do hits back, and then I'm just gonna enter that draw because I want to golf.
That'd be
it.
awesome.
Can you imagine? Like you walk away and you're like, I golfed Augusta.
Yeah.
And like you get a caddy, and they help you read the lines of the green because it's messed.
it'd be the worst.
And everyone I've heard, I've met a few people that have gone to Augusta. They all say it looks more beautiful in person than on TV. TV doesn't do it justice.
And there's way
actually.
more hills than you actually see.
Yes.
It's all up and down, side lies.
Yeah, there's like the third or fourth hole or something where when you see the angle from like the second shot, like you just all of a sudden realize if they have the low camera, how high up you're shooting.
9th is, or 10th is like that too. 10th you go way up. Like it's crazy.
We're only a couple weeks away, man.
It's
coming up, man.
Who you got?
Well, it's hard not to say Scheffler.
Yeah.
Now, so Scheffler versus the field, I probably will take the field still.
Same.
I think
I want like a dark horse to win. Like I kind of want to root for like a Nick Taylor. Or
I would love a
win.
Canadian
Like
to
I
win
want to
again.
go homer here, but I want like I love Tahit Segala. Like I really.
Oh, that'd be a nice one.
I'd like something like that, like a great storyline where you just.
I would like Rory to win the career Grand Slam.
I just want the slam.
Get it done.
Then he can never win it again. That's fine.
Yeah.
I just want him to get it.
I would like Jordan Spieth to win it again because of the collapse that he had a few years ago when he had the double dunk on 12, and he was set to win his second Masters.
Just
And
the
his
worst.
career hasn't really fully been the same since. He did win the Open.
Yeah.
He's won a few other events, but like he was on track to be the best golfer in the world for many years, and then he just was ruined. I feel like at that point. So I'd love to him get that jacket put on again because maybe it will set him right.
Did Ricky make the field?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, because
He's kind of had a resurgence, right?
He's kind of coming back.
Who
to
else
see.
would be fun? I'm just trying to think. Look, Tiger would be insane. It's not going to happen, but it would be insane.
Where would a Homa
okay,
fall in all this?
Homo would be amazing.
Yeah.
Does Tiger make the cut?
I will say yes.
Sheer will and determination and guts.
He could make the cut.
All right.
Okay.
He knows that course too well.
That's true.
And then he'll fall off on Saturday.
But he's there.
And he won't be in contention on Sunday.
He'll
Won't even
WD on
close.
Saturday. Just to say you made the cut. Okay, I'm good.
That or last year, was it last year or 2 years ago? He struggled through that. He went to the Sunday and I think he wants to finish at that course. Who else?
That'd be. I just think in general, like just going there, seeing it. I love the no phones.
Yes.
Like all the tradition that is kept there. Man, what a great place.
Where are you at, Johnny, with the yelling after a shot?
I'm kind of over it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Why? Let the big dog eat. Where is he?
It was cool for a little bit.
Yeah.
I know people I've heard stories that they get tossed at the Masters for that.
Good. Idiots.
And you hear the commentators too sometimes. You don't do that here. Not on,
It's not
not
here.
on
They
16.
whisper it.
Not Augusta.
Not on 16. Not,
Not at
here.
Augusta.
Absolutely unacceptable.
I was looking. Jason Day would be a nice for him to get a win
Yeah,
there.
he'd
That'd
good.
be a nice
He
story.
almost quit because
Yeah.
of like all that. Yeah.
Vertigo was a big issue he had to deal
He
with and
lives in
stuff.
Columbus, doesn't he? Of all places,
It's Ohio area.
something like
What?
that.
I thought they were all in Florida.
I think
Most
his
of them
wife
are.
is from the area.
Yeah.
I think.
Where's Louis Oosthuizen these days?
Live golf.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I love Louis because
Where is
he was always a guy
Right?
that would just randomly show up on like he wouldn't be somebody you're looking at going into Sunday, and then all of a sudden you'd throw on the coverage, you'd be like you're at the turn, and all of a sudden you'd see like, oh, Oosthuizen's like two back. He's
right there.
Like he's right there.
Yeah.
Like how is Oosthuizen still
That's
here?
why he's always invited back. He's always in the top 10.
He's always right
Yeah,
there,
he's in
and
the mix.
he never won it. I don't think, or did he?
He's won a major.
Did he win that one?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because he had I remember once he had the albatross in one of the holes.
Like, I know Bubba went to live, but like, is he ever going to come back? You know?
No.
And-
Well, he's allowed at Augusta.
I know, but is he ever going to come back and,
Oh.
and win this thing, right? Like,
No.
I think a bunch of those live guys,
He won the Open.
obviously great golfers, but I don't know.
They're just riding it out, man. And you know
Exactly.
what? DJ said it at the end of Full Swing. He's like, the rest of my life is taken care of. Like,
Yeah.
I just go play 3 rounds on weekends, travel to the most exotic places in the world.
And that's why
Life's
Live
good.
will not last. Is that if there's
Yeah.
the golfer sitting
don't
there
take
saying
it
it
serious.
doesn't matter.
I don't
Right.
disagree
If they
with
could
that
go
at all.
and say
No,
it
I
doesn't
agree.
matter. Like you look at the players this weekend. It was amazing. You had big names at the top of the leaderboard. It was an intense finish. It was awesome.
Yep.
Live has not had that, and they have big names. They're never going to have that. They're never going to have the rankings. Murray from the Ranch a couple weeks ago, he threw out the numbers. I can't remember which tournament it was, but there was a Live tournament and a PGA tournament, and over the course of the weekend or whatever, or the day, there was 2.85 million people who watched or something. 2.6 were of the PGA.
Really?
200,000 were of Live. Like it's not even close.
Liv doesn't have jam.
They could get the
doesn't have
golfers. They're bringing in a lot of good golfers.
Need
They're
ideas,
getting a little more, but
teams, all that stuff.
no one wants to watch it.
I watched a couple weeks ago and I was just like,
I like DeChambeau though. I hated him for a long time.
still hate him.
Okay, why do you guys hate him?
I used to because
little dink.
He was exactly. He was a dink.
It was his hat for me.
I hated the hat too.
I-
The
That's a
hat,
good reason.
That little mailman hat.
Yeah.
But
That was the
he's
first
changed.
time I went, I do not like Bryson. And I've never let him go for that one.
I turned the corner.
How?
He is
I
so.
can't.
He is so. I saw him on a podcast. He was really good on the podcast. He brought in his personal life, and I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, he started this YouTube channel, and he's like killing it. And I was like, this is the same Bryson I
can't.
don't like, and he just can smoke the ball. Like I don't know.
I admire his willingness to try things, adapt, change the way we think the game, play the game. But like, come on, Johnny, when he walked into that rope that he clearly saw, who put that there? Like, get lost, dude. You didn't even smoke it that hard.
He does think the game totally different though. Like
Yeah.
all the science.
But then he thinks
crazy.
too much. So I went from hating him for the hat to then hating him for the slow golf.
Right.
And then I hated this trend, and he led the way. He wasn't the only one, where it was all about bombing the ball as
Yeah.
far as you can.
Yeah, he cried,
Because now it's like we have to adjust the courses in a sense.
They did.
But you can't go so far. You can only go so far back with a lot of these courses.
Right.
And they're designed, the bunkers and all the traps and all all of that stuff. They're designed for a specific way.
Yep.
And they were designed generally
Right.
1930s or something. And they weren't expecting that all of a sudden guys could hit it 400 yards. And now they're just jumping past. And I don't. It's cool to watch the bombs every so often, but I like seeing golfers in trouble. That's why I love the U.S. Open. I hate golfers hate the U.S. Open because they get challenged.
-1 is the winning score.
Love it.
Bring it on.
It's way better to me than seeing a -25.
Yeah.
I want birdies to matter.
Yes.
And Augusta does. I feel like Augusta's like that. It's like a minus. I feel like it's usually like 8 to 12
I like
wins.
that they extended 13
Yeah.
at Augusta. So that second shot now is big.
Yes.
Big.
And I like Augusta that there are chances to get eagles.
Yep.
But it's also not. You can't get birdies on most holes. Still.
Right.
Like there are some easier holes in theory for them.
Yeah.
Not for us. But then there's other holes where it's like, yeah, you need to go get your par. Because if you get a birdie, that's excellent.
Right.
But you got to get your par.
Right.
I just love that tournament.
Bones with a couple of beauty texts. 780-218-9999. Bones says, you saved a ton of money. Torrey Pines is garbage except in the month before and after the tournament. Bones doesn't
He says
hold
that
back.
before.
I know. Bones
And I've
has
heard
brought
from
that
other
up
people
before.
that's not the case.
Bones follows up with, next time I have a visit to EST during the hangout, I'm standing outside and yelling, mashed potatoes and get in the hole during the broadcast. Bones, we will discreetly have you removed from the property for doing so. But I appreciate that.
I respect the effort.
Yeah.
I respect that effort. So
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Why?
was that a Howard Stern or is that Baba Booey
No,
because
that's
of
the
Howard
Baba
Stern?
Booey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was because of
Booey,
Howard
yeah.
Stern. So
I don't know where mashed potatoes came from. Not a clue.
Who knows where some of these dum-dums come up with it? You're just like, what is wrong with you? Why? You're 40 years old. Do you need to be doing that? You have a 10-year-old kid that's watching you and you're his hero and you're acting a fool.
Yeah.
As we like to say.
Have you ever seen PGA live?
only
No,
seniors
LPGA.
tour.
That's it.
I've gone to Calgary a few times for the Champions Tour coming
nice.
through, and it's great because one, it's like golfers are like, I grew up watching these guys, and they're still amazing.
Oh,
And it's everything's
crazy.
effortless.
Like, how hard is it really to get to the PGA Tour? Like, honestly,
Extremely.
Like, it's harder probably than some other pro sports for sure.
Well, but you got to be consistently consistent.
Oh,
like,
my gosh.
you can't. You got that one weekend where you got to get your card and you got to be perfect type thing. And
Yeah.
there's just a lot that goes into it.
And even just watching Full Swing, some of the early guys, and they're just living out of their van, trying to get enough money to get
Yep.
to the next city because they
Yeah.
don't get like, what is happening? Because they pay everything, right?
Have you
Like,
gone PG?
No, not yet. That's definitely on the bucket list.
And I've always wanted to go to Waste Management and go see that. But who was I talking to?
After this last one, they're going to crack down hard.
I feel like it's jumped the shark a little bit in a
Yeah.
sense where it's like, have we gone too far
Yeah.
with it? Where it's before it was
But it was
golfers
pretty awesome.
went and had a good time with it. And now it's you're going there to party and there's a golf happening. It's like, well, can we get back to you're there for the golf, but you're having a really good time. And like the Ryder Cup hasn't gone there yet. Like they haven't gone too far, and the Ryder Cup would be a lot of fun. That's the only other party time there is.
right. Lots of
So
trash talk
I need
at the Ryder
Waste
Cup.
Management to get, they need to dial things back a little bit. I don't know how you dial things back without then killing what it is.
Yeah,
And
because
so-
like, what is it, 16 there? The
16 's
state,
the big one.
man, like sitting there
great.
all day. Come on, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know. If you're ever free in August, head down to Calgary, Shaw Charity Classic.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun. You're pretty close to these guys still, and it's just seeing them step up for a drive. Putting their ball down, going and just a quick swing, and it's just a perfect ball and just so effortless. And you're like, I would stand there overthinking everything you just did there, and here with people watching you, just not a problem.
My wife's cousin just got his PGA Pro.
Oh yeah.
Just he works at Sturgeon, and the difference, and I find this is the next level of golf from where we are, is their second shots are unbelievable.
Oh,
it doesn't,
man.
it doesn't matter about the drive. They'll find
long as-
that second shot is on the green
Yep.
9 times out of 10.
Tight.
And it's like, how did you pull that out of there, right? Or they're under, just, and their putting is crazy good, but like the second shot is everything.
Cozy says, the worst is yelling, get in the hole off the tee. Touche.
That's a tough one.
Why?
There's not a lot that could work.
No.
This is the EST Hangout presented by White Claw, the hard seltzer that started the wave, made with refreshingly real flavors for the iconic taste. White Claw, the difference is clear. Tom Gazzola, Iwanyk, and Jonny Jazzno from Seven's Radio Network, Tailgate Radio on TuneIn. We're live on TuneIn right now, as well as EdmontonSportsTalk.com, iHeartRadio, and YouTube as well. Reminder, tomorrow we got the EST Watch Party at Hudson's White.
Yeah, nice.
Oilers, Leafs, 5 o'clock. Tommy's on air
Early
at
game.
3:30. It's going to be bump. Oilers, Leafs, like that's just going to be a great time. But you could also do the Hudson's doubleheader if you would like. 2 o'clock. Myself and Lieutenant Eric, we're starting at the West Edmonton Mall location of Hudson's on Bourbon because Canada taking on Trinidad and Tobago.
You're going to be a puddle tomorrow.
I'm driving to the next location, so I will be okay.
As you know, he's very responsible.
It's also one. I'm going to be. I won't be drinking much during the Canada game. I don't think because I'll be nervous.
Okay.
I shouldn't be nervous for this game, but I am nervous. We need a puncher ticket to Copa America.
Yeah, we
need
do.
to get it done.
I'm going to go with the proverbial we on this one. I'm okay with it.
Well, you're Canadian.
Because we want to win. We want to get to Copa
He hates
America.
saying we's.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like when my Yankees are going to take to the field, he
Okay.
doesn't like that.
What
Here's
number
your
are you?
take, Tommy, on this
19.
one. People who have jerseys of the Oilers, but they put their last name on it.
Ooh.
So actually, I was in the our elevator yesterday, going down, and there's a bunch of people going to Oilers game.
Yeah.
And one person's thinking, she's like, I want to get a Corey Perry jersey. Also, my last name's Perry.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, that could work.
Yeah.
because it's there. I don't have an issue with the name.
You pick your favorite number and you put
your name on it.
Johnny,
I actually don't mind that.
Oh.
I think it's neat, like especially with the prices. Like if you're gonna commit to a jersey,
it's your fan. You're gonna be a fan.
I actually don't mind it.
So walking through the concourse last night, and the Oilers store is there, and it's a 25% off all third jerseys. So that's the one they wore last night.
Because they're getting rid of that crap.
Yeah, they're getting.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
you're
fan.
anti?
Hate it.
Okay.
I'm indifferent. Somebody likes it here.
25% off. Anyway, so I went to look, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll pick one up. Guess what are the starting prices on those?
$300.
$313.
Is it really that much?
I couldn't believe it.
I remember being a kid and they were like $130.
Not anymore.
Nope.
When they went to Adidas, it took a huge jump up.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So
Like
what's 25% off that? Like $60 off?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you're still in for $250, $260.
So are you in favor of last name? Would you get?
Well, the only reason I have one is I got to be an Oiler a couple years ago, which was the coolest experience of all time. I was working at OTR on the Rocks, and my boss comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to be part of this Molson, be an Oiler for a day?" I was like, "Okay, sure." I have no idea really what it all entailed, and so I got to go. First of all, you get to park underground at Rogers Place, and you drop off your equipment. You have to bring your stuff, and you go and have breakfast and. It was awesome. And then you get to the locker room. We were in the visiting room, and all your gear's hung up for you.
Yep.
And I was like, this is awesome. You have a practice jersey there for you. They're like, Kate, we're going to go do practice. I haven't been on skates that time for 5-6 years. I'm like, what's practice going to entail? Oh, no, it was a hardcore, legit NHL practice, which I just died. You've done it?
No, but I see it when they do it because usually it's a practice day, and I think that's a phenomenal experience to have.
So then we come off the ice after practice, and your jersey is hanging there with your last name, your number at your spot, and it was really cool.
You got the socks.
You get the socks and gloves and the whole thing.
They do a great job with that.
And so then we went and had lunch, and then after lunch, we're like, hey, it's time for Dryland. I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is legit Oiler Day.
Yep.
And so Dryland was pretty basic. It's not as intense as you think. We just like played soccer and stuff. It was fun. And then it's like, hey, time for the game, home versus away. And so we went out, and they brought the in-house announcer and the music and everything, and they announced you on the ice and sang "O Canada." It was great. It was an awesome experience, and I was so exhausted, and I felt like a bag of shit the next day. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
And it was, but it was so cool. And then after, they had a huge party at that. What's it called? 99 Gretzky's Club?
Studio 99.
Studio 99. Yeah, they have a huge party for everybody up there, and it was just a really fun day. So
kudos to the Oilers and whatever sponsor does that. I can't remember, Scotiabank or whatever, but that is actually a tremendous thing, and it's nice to see them do stuff like that. 100% endorse it. And the senior jersey, that's pretty cool.
I do have a jersey with my name and number on it. So
I think that's fine.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like if you love a team, you're going to commit $320. And you don't want to commit to a particular player because you think they might be gone in a couple years. You put your name on there. I'm all for it. Just don't put like 99 or something like that. Like pick a good number.
Well, a proper number.
Yeah, like
you can't.
Don't
There's
be
certain numbers you
Iwanyk,
can't
99.
touch.
Yeah, don't. You're not Mario Lemieux. You're not Wayne Gretzky. Bobby Orr, like number 4. Like that's fine because it's been used by so many others. But like,
66 got to be out. 99's got to be out. I don't think I'd put anything else besides those two.
I think those two you just untouchable.
Like because 11, a lot of people are like that's their number.
Yes.
Right.
So I understand
And
why
they're
you'd
so
want to be
common.
11.
Yeah.
So there are certain ones out there that I'm like, okay, that I understand why you would consider it your number type thing too. So it's not to the player. 99 and 66.
Those are the ones.
They kind of stand alone.
Yeah.
And it's hard to sit there like, well, 99's always been my number. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
All right, Wilf Paymont.
66, I'm great. Unless you're like into like satanical stuff.
Right.
No, you're not into
no.
66.
No.
You're in that for Lemieux. So those numbers, they go to the side.
You're wearing 68. You're like, I'm a real Zygmunt Palffy fan.
I just thought about this. We were talking about music and sports, right? Lacrosse, indoor lacrosse, music going the whole time.
Very cool.
What other sport could get away with that?
So basketball
Basketball.
does it.
Do they? All the time?
Yeah.
It's all the time now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They just kind of like, and the way they do it, like they splice it in.
Depending
And
on the
then
place.
like if it's like a key moment of the game, it's like kind of intense.
Well, I went to a Suns game a couple years ago and they were doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the Lakers. It's been a few years since I don't know if the Lakers fully do it.
They kind of do it when the teams are rushing up the
It's
court.
more on the offense.
Yeah,
you
and
want
then
to
they
get that
dial it
going.
back
And then
as soon as they get
which
in.
is kind of like lacrosse.
Yeah.
When the offense has got the ball,
Yeah.
it's louder. And then when
No,
it's
they're
defense,
not allowed to anymore. My buddy's a DJ.
Oh, really?
For lacrosse.
Rush?
Yeah, for the Rush. And he said, no, there was a big league mandate that you cannot adjust volumes. It has to be the same volume.
They used to do that
all the time.
Pump. So what other sport?
I know
could
you're going
work?
to be mad at this.
I don't know if you will. I will be.
Could soccer get away with it?
No.
Yeah, that's a niche.
No, I don't think so.
I Why not?
It's not. It takes away from the sanctity of the game in a sense. I think, and it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. The field is so far and wide. I don't know about communication and how easy it would be for the players.
Like volleyball, you can beach volleyball, you can do it.
And I'm now going to go to the flip side. What about hockey?
No.
And he's got that one there, and it's just like I don't know. Like, would the game be a little bit
Because you
better?
got to communicate.
But you're on a closer ice surface.
Yeah.
No.
If you can do it in lacrosse.
No.
And that's where it's like I could see, could that make the game a little bit better?
No.
And I think the atmosphere could be a little bit better, but that's
No.
Baseball.
No. I'm like a stout traditionalist with baseball.
I honestly,
For whatever
I would
reason.
actually like to see it happen in those sports and watch it and see if I like it or not. I'd have to, because there's something. It's now like golf. I like golfing with music. Now I don't like it being
I love
played.
it.
I don't like live with music. Hearing it on
the
TV,
loudspeaker.
I actually don't
You
like
like
it.
putting the Bluetooth
I
speaker
like
on
putting
the car.
Yeah.
Bluetooth. I like driving
Putting it
around
on
with
Tailgate Radio.
Yeah.
Yes, I like listening to the music while I'm driving.
right.
Now, again, not too loud. You don't want other people, because I know some
Right.
don't
Oh,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I want it. I actually enjoy golfing with the music.
Yeah.
I think I know one of the reasons why I don't like the live one. Is that when you cut from one hole to the next hole, you're cutting from one song to another song. It's not the consistent song. You're like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Or you go from like a hole that doesn't have it to now having it. So I think that might be one of the reasons I don't
get
like
that.
it with that.
With
Which is not a song. But I'd like to try it with hockey. I'd like to
No.
try it with soccer.
No.
Football wouldn't work. I will say football doesn't work
No.
because the noise does impact the game.
There's far too many stoppages.
Well, so they could play during then, and then during the game, like you need that communication where we know if you're a loud stadium, you could cause false starts.
Right.
And I don't want false starts happening because we're pumping
right.
Rihanna going right now. You know, like
Shine bright like a diamond.
yeah. And then all of a sudden,
Great.
Elk's taking offensive legal procedure. And you're like, damn it.
One on the jersey from Surveyor Brett. This is a good one. It says, I have an Oilers purple white cancer jersey, Luchansky on the back. Number is meaningful for my wife and me. It's my favorite jersey for sure. Big ups to Surveyor Brett.
Jasmine also quickly saying, Maddie, have you discussed Kentucky blowing it yet? Wow. We actually haven't yet. Quickly, Kentucky blowing it.
No way.
I said on Wednesday, I'm worried about the three. They're the best three ball in the nation. At some point, the three ball is going to go cold. I didn't expect it in game one. I had them going to the Elite Eight, and they go knocked out in round one.
No.
At one point yesterday, they were shooting like 19% from three. They're historically, like this season, been over 40% from three. And then I think they finished the game like 33% from three. Their three ball absolutely killed them. Not stunned that they ultimately got knocked out by the three ball, but not game one to Oakland, who, by the way, I got to see if
All three ball from that one guy.
So his stats this year, I got to pull it up.
What do you have, like 4-2?
No, he's taken 8 2-point shots
Yeah.
the entire season.
Yeah.
What?
His field goal shooting this year, he's taken 335 shots this season. 327 of them were three balls.
Yeah.
Which the exact same team a couple years ago in 15-16, they had a guy his senior year take only threes. He took a 257 shots. They were all three balls.
Whoa.
That guy yesterday was just, he would like roll up past half and then just like swish. I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on here? This guy's
Crushing.
crazy.
I lost an Elite Eight team yesterday, so I'm very upset. And now Kentucky's, they're fuming.
Let's go Colgate.
What were you saying this morning when I came in? You want to do a bracket next year?
So Eric was mentioned on the morning show. They said something about it must be tough to not get a single one. Like it must be impressive to go like 0-16 on
Do the
it.
reverse.
So I want to do a bracket. Like next year, I will do my bracket for money. I'll put that one in, trying to guess it all right. But next year, I don't have to care about the rest of the round. I want to go 0-32 for the first round.
Brilliant.
I am going to attempt
Absolutely.
to go 0-32, where I feel like a lot of them I could get, but it's trying to figure out that 10 versus 7.
Yeah.
I have to take the 7.
Have to.
Knowing I'm going to lose with them, and I want to go 0-32 to the
like
first
this.
round. That is going to be my goal moving forward every year, where I will try to do it.
I like it.
And if I get it done, I'm going to be so proud of myself.
You're
It's
gonna-
like if you have Keno. You
Yeah.
ever played Keno?
No.
And you play the bigger numbers. If you don't get for some of them, if you don't get a single number,
You were so in,
Yeah.
and then you're like, no.
if you don't get a single number, you actually win money.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's,
like-
it's the reverse.
If
Yeah.
you told me you were the Wario of NCAA brackets, it would make more sense than this Keno reference.
Okay, well, it would just be amazing. Like, to be able to sit there like, I went 0-32. Beat that.
I'd love.
great.
I know you're gonna try it next year. I really
I'm
do.
going to.
You're gonna be very passionate about it too.
Get out of here.
I might put more in.
Norm. I'll see you tomorrow. Norm and the Combine stopping by.
I will put more effort probably into that one next year. Maybe that's the reason I'll do well in my other bracket is I won't focus on my other one. I could actually one year just quickly do it, and I'll focus on the stupid bracket, and I'll do better, and I won't overthink my picks. Wednesday night, I tinkered so much with my bracket. I am not happy.
Overthinking it.
It's I always want to not do it. I sit there and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put one in this year, and then I overthink it. Wednesday every year it messes with me. I need to get busy on a Wednesday night leading into March Madness, where I can't look at my
I know
bracket.
a place where you can go. It's right down the street from our condo. It's
There's a lot of places, but I always mess
called
it up.
Kelly's.
I always mess it up. Are you ready for CFL season?
Yeah. Here's my thing with the CFL, and
Let's go, Johnny.
That's a big statement here. I look forward to the schedule every year, and I don't know. This is my problem with the schedule: is that why does the CFL not look at a July long weekend like Canada Day or the August long weekend to have the riders in this city?
Yeah.
Like honestly, Saskatchewan people think this is a holiday destination.
Lovely.
They would 1000% follow their team and pack that stadium on a long weekend or a Saturday night 8:00 game.
Yeah.
There needs to be more summer games in Edmonton with Saskatchewan here.
I'm trying to think historically how many times the Elks play on those weekends, because I wonder if the Elks don't want it,
Right.
because their fan base sits there and says, "Well, I'm going to the lake this weekend,"
Well, then just do it on a Saturday at 8:00.
but they're at the lake, Johnny.
Wow.
Everyone's
I
at the
hate
lake.
the lake excuse, even though it's completely valid. I just hate
We
it.
hear it all the time.
I know. I'm going to the lake this weekend.
JMO
No,
gets
you're
upset
not.
about that when we've had those
I'm with
discussions, because
JMO.
people will be like, well, we can't do Thursday nights because it's too late for kids. Okay, what about Friday? Well, I'm off to the lake. Okay, what about Saturday? Well, no, I'm at the lake still. Or like, okay, Saturday early. Like,
What about Sunday? No, I gotta work
can't
the
do-
next day.
Sunday, yeah, I'm working the next day. So it's like Tuesday, 11 o'clock. Is that good for everyone? Like, are we okay? No,
know,
like,
I know.
when works for you? How
Exactly.
could we do this best for all of you?
Help
Everyone
me
has something.
Help you.
But the Saskatchewan fan will
Yeah.
travel more on a Saturday game for
Yeah.
sure. And I think if
Well, it sounds brilliant.
you want to pack the stadium, you
Yeah.
want to sell more everything. Hello.
I just that's the one thing I could say. Maybe that's the counter is
Yeah,
that the
yeah.
Elks don't want it as much because they think they won't be able to get enough of their
This
fans.
is a 5-hour drive. It's nothing from Saskatoon.
Well, with this lower bowl, okay. Here's the thing: would you open up the lower bowl, or would you open up the stadium if the Riders come to town and they're selling out the lower bowl?
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
See, and I wouldn't. Not this year.
Have it sold out in the lower bowl and then open up. Like
here's-
anytime you get over 31,000, boom. Send
But
them
I
up.
would want to build that demand again and go this year. If
Like,
we ever,
you want to say
I want to say
you want to say
you didn't get
sold
in.
out?
You didn't get in. We sold
Yeah.
out. We're not opening up another ticket. You're missing out. And the vibe that you can maybe get of that full bottom
maybe.
stadium. And I think for 1 year, I wouldn't mind seeing the Elks not open up and go, too bad. And then that next year, somebody goes, well, I got to get my ticket a little sooner because last year I couldn't go.
I understand creating demand,
Yeah.
but when you got this organization losing money, operating at a loss in 5 years in a row, that's going to be a big no-no. So they're going to open it up, do whatever they can to bring in those bucks.
But is that short-term thinking
Yes.
that hurts you long-term?
Yes.
As opposed to looking
Of
long-term
course.
and going, well, let's take the hurt here. And that's where I'm intrigued
But
with the
they're
Tommy
new
wants the
owners.
dollars now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if I was looking at it from an Elks point of view, I'd be like,
but
we need
also, what
money.
does the new ownership think?
Good point. How much do they want to take on in terms of losses? Because this franchise is losing a few million a year the
Yeah.
last few years, right? Like the kitty's running dry right now. So
If you're the new owner of this team, I think you have to expect that you're going to have losses for the first couple of years.
I believe that's part of the understanding.
And then, so take your pain and try to really build up that demand. That's how I would do it.
I'm excited also for the relocation of Tailgate.
Yes.
I think that's going to be really, really beneficial. Good traffic flow for people to enjoy it with the stage that they have set up, and that's all coming out, and then just easy into the stadium. I think it's going to be. And I think there's a not only just the spirit of Edmonton, but a lot of people have really adapted the pre-game with the Elks. Regardless of how they're doing on the season, everyone
Yep.
still shows up for that pre-game, the
a lot
tailgate
of
party.
fun.
Good vibe.
Exactly. And so I think that continuing in that new spot, getting more people into the stadium. I think it's going to be good. I honestly get some more wins, man. It's close.
It's coming.
Well,
It's close. I said we.
I'm just
I'm gonna
no,
let that one slide. I'm gonna let that
intrigued.
one slide for Johnny.
An Elks
No.
we, not a Rider we.
I was more so like on the Spirit we, but no, I'm just joking.
Spirit Week. That's I
Because
understand.
are you okay? What Riders or Elks?
Riders first.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
But I'll
He-
always, and this was my deal when I joined the Spirit of Edmonton. It was Riders first, but when the Elks, or when the Riders are here, I cheer Riders, but every other time I cheer Elks.
and that's I just the fact that I heard a we for the Elks, I was like, ooh, he's converting.
I like a lot of teams.
I'm gonna let that one slide. Well, having a good time on this Friday. I have one thing to say because you're right. It is getting better. And Maddie, we go to those tailgates, which was nice.
It was great last year.
People are catching on.
Yeah.
And it will be good to tuck it back into. I think it's going to Lot B instead of Lot A, right?
Yeah.
But there was still, I don't know if you remember this, there was a couple of times where you get that 75-year-old season ticket holder that's been there. I've been a season ticket holder since 1958.
Just driving through.
And they drive right through.
Right in between
the entire
Spirit tents and the stage, and everyone's having to move out of the way as this
try not
car's
to get
coming
hit.
through.
What the hell's going on?
Why is there a car here right now?
This new move is going to change that.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a stop at a certain point where cars can't come in
Good.
because the Elks want a straight up. You're here to tailgate.
Yes.
That is when you're taking this, you're taking on a responsibility that you're also here to tailgate. This isn't a parking stall for you.
That one lady almost hit 14 people. I swear.
It was always messed up.
It was funny and scary at the same time.
Oh, Jerry Haraxi just texted me.
There you go.
Asked Johnny about the game I took him to and the Elks. Well, the Eskimos won 27-0 over the Riders.
That was a
LOA.
great game.
How was that?
That was early on in my time here. Jerry takes me to he has season tickets. He was in the second deck. He's had them forever, and you build a community when you have everybody has the same season tickets, right?
That's true.
You see
He
the
would
same
know.
you see the same guys every
17
year.
years now.
See the same guys every year, and so he drags me up there, and of course I'm wearing my Rider jersey, and I get booed right away as soon as I get up there. Classic,
As you should.
exactly. And so the Riders are just getting stomped, and all of a sudden it was time for the football toss. And everybody's cheering for the football. I'm just drinking my beer, pouting. And all of a sudden one hits me in the chest and it falls to the bottom of my feet. And everybody pick it up. And I was like, I don't want this football. No, pick it. And there was a pick it up chant. And I picked up the football. Everybody cheered for me. Hey, thanks, guys. And I was super embarrassed.
You should have thrown it.
Yeah.
Throw it back.
You should have done, like the baseball thing where you throw it back. You want me to pick it up? How's this? And then just whip it.
Whip it.
Yeah, so it was. I've been booed out of that stadium more times than I can count. Being a Rider fan.
I think Lucas has a story of getting an Elks fan kicked out at Commonwealth.
No way.
And then chanting that I'm him getting kicked out.
Another time the Riders got walked on, and I'm leaving, and this chick behind me goes, "Rough ride home." I'm like, what? That's where we're at?
Yeah,
She was so proud of that one too. You just know it. That one, she was like, I got it. Get it,
get
guys.
it. Hey, good pun. All right. Gina Principe. Hey. There was, I don't know if it was that game where they got shut out or if it was the monster comeback against the Riders where they didn't score a point in the second half. But I remember I had a few. It was a really nice day. And I had a couple of extra libations that day. And I was walking home and I was like, bye. See you. Drive safe. Bye. And then my buddy's like, you're going to get your ass kicked. And I was like, no. See you guys. Bye. Oh, take Highway 16. Be safe. Very obnoxious.
I can't wait for CFL season.
Even I thought that was a bit much, but I did it.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good this year.
I don't even know. We're not far from 2 months away from the first preseason game.
Mid-June.
Combine's going on.
Yeah. Well, first preseason game, Saskatchewan hosting Winnipeg's May 20th.
Whoa.
So we're now less
really
than 2
early.
months from the start of preseason. The Elks' first one's May 25th. So we're just over now 2 months
Yeah.
from the start of the season when it comes to that. Oh my God, it's right away.
Yeah.
This is what's awesome. Scotties,
Boom, boom, boom.
Briar, March Madness. F1 has started though, but then you get to Masters. Baseball kicks off. And then before you know it, it's NHL, NBA playoffs, but then it's the CFL start of the season. We're full
go.
into the summer golfing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're mad planning Grey Cup already. It's crazy that they talk about that already, but yeah.
I was thinking about that yesterday actually because I'm already looking at things for fall.
Yep.
Because I'm like, you have to plan well ahead.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
weird. And you're just like, well, we haven't even hit summer yet. And I started like, oh, I got to start looking at Grey Cup here right away because we want to go.
Yeah.
It's Spirit's 50th year.
Oh, it's going to be a good
Oh,
one.
yeah. It's crazy.
Vancouver just sound like so many people are saying they want to go. Hopefully, a lot of those people do go because Vancouver could be a lot of fun in November this year.
Oh,
we could all have a
great
great time.
temperature, number one. Two, you're inside for the game, right? Like,
Yep.
And Dolman isn't going to allow Hamilton to he's not going to let them have a better Grey Cup than him type thing. He's going to always want to set the bar.
I think
and
so.
Hamilton this year, even just musical acts, Carrie Underwood, Shaggy, and Green Day.
In different venues too.
In different
which
styles,
was great.
he's going to try to he's going to do his best, and he's probably going to try to top that. I don't
No
know how.
Trooper, no April Wine,
Bring
no
Trooper
Kim
still.
Mitchell,
Bring Troopers still.
no Tom Cochran.
I don't know how you could
stop it.
I don't know how Grey Cup could top a Green Day.
Green Day was pretty awesome.
Find a way.
And I hope they do, but the Green Day was unbelievable.
For me, though, I think
Grey Cup.
I love the international acts at Grey
Yes.
Cup, but I know there's a lot of people keep it Canadian.
No.
See, and that's
Stop
where
it.
give me that band that plays before the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Make that Canadian. Give me Canadian there. Showcase Canada, but halftime, get the best person you can.
Yeah.
Also, quick question.
Yeah.
Is the Rec Laws, are they in timeout after their O Canada at the All-Star game?
TSN was pumping them out the entire Briar week and stuff.
Really?
I don't know how many times I saw those two people singing.
They're
and
lovely, but-
the girl is lip singing clearly in this music video that they're playing.
It's a timeout
and they're
after that
somehow
anthem.
connected to someone at TSN. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
How is TSN pumping up only the Rec Laws ever?
Let's expand our horizons. Give me some July talk.
Oh, I haven't heard July talk in a while.
They had
Nickelback reference again. Nickelback would be great for opening song.
Yeah.
Of Friday Night Football.
Let's
Come
go.
on.
Let's go.
We need a new Carrie Underwood. The Carrie
Yeah,
Underwood.
find
is
something
coming.
like that.
Keith Urban halftime was good.
That was.
Calgary.
Yeah.
That was good.
Alessia
You know-
Cara was great.
Yeah, I think
Johnny,
so.
People loved her.
Yeah, and I thought that was fantastic. And I was watching the AFL Aussie Rules Football League Championship, and they get huge international acts to play the halftime or whatever of their final. They had Kiss and pyro like crazy. They had 300 kids all dancing to Kiss on the pitch, and they were all painted up with silver and black.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it was great. And they just played their hits, and it was fantastic. It's big time. You get the big acts. Doesn't have to be from your country. Paul Stanley, is he from Adelaide? No. Detroit Rock City, baby.
I will say you can't do it this year because she did the NHL All-Star game.
Who?
But Tate McRae should probably do it in the next couple of years.
Give her the Rogers Arena.
No,
day
I'd give her
before.
halftime.
You'd give her halftime?
I don't know.
I think in a couple of years. I wouldn't do it yet.
I don't
I'd
really
give her
know
halftime.
Tate McRae.
She's going to be, based on the trajectory she's going, she's going to be a next real big pop star.
Okay, I want to suggest this for halftime. Dua Lipa. Can we do it?
That'd be good.
Thank you.
I think too high.
Why?
I think she's too big right now.
That could be
for Canada.
That could be more of a Super Bowl thing.
Oh, I love Dua Lipa.
I'm just who else is pretty big that's not too big?
Yeah, the Green Day's perfect because they were super popular.
Yeah.
They came down a bit, now they're coming back. So
Yeah.
they caught them in the wave, right? The right point.
You're not getting Taylor Swift type thing.
no,
Right?
No. No.
I'm just trying to think.
Right before I said it, look what Dudley texted in.
You're gonna suggest Dua Lipa already?
Nailed
That's
it.
great.
I don't know, the rock world. I don't know if there's anything rock wise that I'd be is a must.
Josh Corbett? Who's that?
Josh Corbett.
Is that country?
I don't know. What about this Noah Khan?
He's huge apparently.
Yeah.
No idea who he is.
I
He's
saw
coming
him
to
on
Edmonton
Saturday
soon.
Night Live. I thought he was great. Is he Canadian?
I don't know.
I don't think so. He's
But
going to
that's
be
not
here.
that's not a halftime show. You need to be pumped up. It needs
I
to
don't
be
know his
sexy.
music.
It doesn't need to be kumbaya music.
You can do a Luke Combs.
He's from the U.S.
Yeah.
If you want to go country,
Luke Combs would be massive.
that would be good.
That would be a big deal
Okay.
if you could snag a Luke Combs.
Does he
I would
have a
say.
couple fire it up
yeah,
tunes?
yeah.
Then let's go.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'll
Tyler
tolerate country
Hubbard or
at
whatever.
least.
He wasn't
Well,
bad.
it's
a
not
couple
gonna be a
years ago.
country artist in Vancouver.
No, I don't think it would be.
No.
It's going to be more pop. Who have they had there? Was it Imagine
If they
Dragons?
Black
just
Eyed
did-
Peas,
if they just
Imagine
did rock,
Dragons.
It's gonna be poppy.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on.
Bring back a boy band. What's wrong with that?
If you're going to go that way, give me the Spice Girls.
What about
Sure.
Timberlake?
Let's
Would
go
Timberlake
Spice
do
Girls.
it?
Oh, that's
He's just putting out a new album.
He's kind of in hiding right now, right?
But
that's your A-list, though. I don't know.
I think that's just like a little outside of what the Grey Cup could maybe do. But I don't know. Dolman could do whatever he wants. He's done a lot of great things, so we'll see. And we'll see if maybe the Elks' new ownership could come in and kind of replicate that. We're almost done for today. 2 hours is over.
This is awesome.
It just flew by. Sevens Radio Network, Tailgate Radio on TuneIn. Tune in for that. You guys got anything big?
Yeah, we have 3 stations currently. The other 2, Pure Country Station, which is awesome. It's called the Big 615. Right from the mind of Garth. He wanted to create this country station. It is, if you like, I know you're not a big fan, but if you like country, that's the one you want. And our other station is the Garth channel. It's his own personal playlist. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
There was a text that came in earlier that said, does Garth know he has a banner hanging at Rogers Place?
Yes, I have texted him the picture many times.
I have a quick story.
With 0 response.
I have a quick story about that. That's so good. We were in Washington, and they were going to announce the Garth banner, and someone at OEG's like, let's get Wayne to do the banner unveiling on stage with Garth, and Wayne was with us on this road trip out east, and he comes up to us and he's like, they want to fly me back to Edmonton tonight so I can give Garth Brooks a banner on stage tomorrow. He's like, no, thank you. We had to Oilers TV. We had to shoot a video, and he did like a congratulations.
Oh, right.
He's like, I'm not flying across the country to give him a banner. Like, I just remember.
Yeah, I saw it last night. It's just still hanging there.
Yeah. Oh, it's there. It's right in front of me, Johnny.
9 sold out shows.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know where it would look great? Somewhere
the lobbies?
down
The
Fort
atrium or
Hall.
whatever?
Yeah. It's a lovely
you're
banner.
anti?
He's anti that stuff.
I think
I've learned a lot about Tommy today.
there's some sacred things about inside an arena. Like the Montreal Canadiens, they roll up their banners if there's concerts, other teams or games perform there. And the only banners that they have hanging, Stanley Cup and retired numbers. Class.
Tune in to TuneIn Radio, no pun intended. Tailgate Radio, Pure Country, and the Garth channel.
Big 615.
Big 615.
Garth channel.
That's all on TuneIn Radio while you're listening to Edmonton Sports. Like you can flip back and forth.
Exactly.
Or when we have our replays at 1 o'clock, you can flip over to Tailgate Radio all then and tune in. We'll see you around the Elks and stuff. Thanks for coming in. We'll have to have you back on.
100%.
I enjoyed the hell out
talk
of
some
this.
golf. I don't know how much I'll golf this year, but you guys should get out golfing.
Let's go.
And stuff
Mark
too.
Curtis, fix your knees.
Oh, I'll tell you a new fun golf game next time that you can play on the greens with your buddies for cash.
Yes.
Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. They'll get you set for the weekend. And then you and Dusty have Oil Stream coming up at noon. A reminder again, Oil Stream pregame show tomorrow. Hudson's White, 3:30. Tommy's on the air. It is our watch party for Oilers and Leafs and Hello Hockey tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Do you know who's on tomorrow?
We're working on Dave Pagnotta.
Dave Pagnotta. That's how you always just go, Dave Pagnotta. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout. Also, reminder, keyword for the EST Flyway coming up in the next 2 shows, but next one during the Lock Shop with Dusty and Huss. On behalf of Tom, Johnny, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning into the EST Hangout presented by White Claw. Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes right here on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with here. Joining us today,